sports encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best. He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you. Oh, God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
Yeah, we are in the building. It is Free Game Friday, and we are in the building. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one, and go on over to our other channel, as we appreciate all you guys going over there as well. And now that is member ready, so you can member up on our other channel, as I'm going to have exclusive content on there starting tonight. So make sure you head on over to our other channel, because there's different tiers on that page that you can go subscribe and become members to. And I'm going to have all kind of different shit on there. We're going to do all kind of stuff, from the yacht to cooking, making drinks, the dogs, hoes. Yeah, I'm just saying, don't trip. We got a lot going on over there. So check it out. But that's for exclusive content, nothing like this channel. So make sure if you become a member over there, it is all exclusive from this channel. So let's get into it, man. It's Free Game Friday. Dr. Jesse Morse joins us, Big Matt McChesney, and Shaun King. We're going to talk about all things NFL playoffs, college football playoff, Natty, and it's all powered by BetUS. So head on over to BetUS today. Use the promo code CoachJB and get you up to 150% bonus up to your first deposit of $2,000. Now let's dive into this thing, man. Breaking news happened last night in the courts and with the NCAA, Non-Carrying Assholes of America. 2 weeks ago on this very show, if any of you listen and use your ears for listening, not hearing, you would have listened to Coach JB, because he said something that was very, very specific. And he said, where is Title IX? What has happened? When are they going to speak up? But what do I know? Title IX has spoken up. I told y'all 2 weeks ago, when this prep and this JUCO thing passed in court, that Title IX will come out of nowhere to become relevant again. The plans that many major college athletic departments are making for how they distribute funds and give out this bread to these athletes. But let's make sure we're clear. They said student athletes. Make sure you remember that word, student athlete. How they distribute direct payments to student athletes would violate Title IX, according to a memo published by the U.S. Department of Education yesterday. Now remember, why is the Department of Education involved? These ain't students no more. Stop being involved. But I told you what the truth about Title IX is. It's not about equity and inclusion and diversity. It's about paying every single person the same amount of dollars that the other person gets. That is Title IX in a nutshell. I'm the only one that's been telling you guys this for years on this show. For every dollar you pay a man, you have to pay a woman the same dollar. That is why athletic departments move around sports, and they'll cut a men's soccer team or cut a women's softball team at certain programs so they can match these dollars because football is so big numbers-wise. I'm not paying 100 football players and then go pay 10 women's softball players. It doesn't work that way. The memo provides some long-awaited guidance about how gender equity laws will apply to new era of college sports. That is on track to begin this summer. It's not clear, by the way, it's not clear if it's Department of Education is going to interrupt this thing, or is Title IX law the same way when incoming President Donald Trump admin installs new officials in the near future? That can change all this, by the way. Yes, the president of the U.S. can actually change some things administratively when it comes to Title IX. So the NCAA and its power conferences have agreed to allow each school to share up to $20.5 million in direct payments to its athletes via name, image, and likeness deals. So take what I just told you and understand this. Most NIL that generate the most revenue, number one is football, number two is men's basketball, both men's sports. In some cases, athletic directors have publicly shared that they intend to provide upward near 75% of all that money to give only to football players. Fact, quote. So, up to 75% of all the revenue brought in is intended to go to football players. Remember what I told you, that is what they said. So, however, the Office of Civil Rights, saying that, the Office for Civil Rights now is involved. The Division of Department of Education that enforces Title IX said in a memo yesterday that those future payments should be considered athletic financial assistance, quote, end quote, and therefore must be shared proportionately between men and women athletes. By the way, thanks, Department of Education. That is what Title IX is anyway. You're not sharing new news. Every dollar spent on the man's side needs to be shared on the woman's side. So now you're trying to bring it back up like if it's new news. When a school provides athletic financial assistance in forms other than scholarships, grant and aid, Pell Grant, shit I've been telling you on the show, including compensation for the use of NIL, such assistance also must be made proportionately available to men and females. That's what the memo said yesterday. And the Title IX is a federal law that prohibits sex-based discrimination in education programs. The law requires that school provides opportunities to play a varsity sport that are proportional to the student body's overall gender makeup. Listen, man, this is a shit show. I'm just telling you. But remember what I told you. This will all crumble once again. This will all come down and crumble once they find out what others make and what other schools take in versus what other schools give out. Everyone wants a piece of the pie. And this is what will make the current landscape even worse. Look at the precedent that's being set today as the wide receiver for Ohio State now is being insured beyond ever playing it down in the NFL. I get he's a freak. I get how awesome the player is, and he's unbelievable and all that stuff. But remember the precedent they are setting, because for every dollar you give a man, you have to do for a woman. And every rule you make for a man, you have to do for a woman. So now women are going to ask to be insured beyond ever playing a down in the WNBA or in the Olympics or in whatever sport. Remember, I told you right now, it's going to happen. But what do I know? Let's bring our main man in, man, our co-host extraordinaire, co-host, Far East Side, 317, LeBron Hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, Caitlin Clark jocking, and AR5 believing, Fox Sports' very own Big Smitty.
What's going on? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, Jason? What's going on, y'all? We here live. We live at 6 a.m. We in the hood right now. I got the background all white, cocaine. We can't be in the studio room because my neighbor's trying to get me kicked out. So y'all bear with me. As it gets later, the louder I get. As the time ticks, the louder I get. But I'm here live right now. I got my main man Bailey in the back. We got JB, Coach JB to the right of me right now. We got G Wizzy as my cousin, JC, TPB, D Jones, Finney Baller, Jesse U, LBC, Lucy Lou. We got Ill Bill, Sugar on the Real Please, Christian W, John L, Kobe, the Secret Sauce, and Finney Baller. It's about to be a crazy show right now. Don't cover your face on me.
I need to holler at your landlord, homie.
My landlord cool as fuck. He a foreign dude, cool than a motherfucker. Real cool. But he has to appease his neck.
Fuck.
Well,
he's Hamas?
I don't know. Well, he ain't Hamas. I don't know what he is though, honestly. You know what his last name, help me out. His last name is, let me see real quick. I think it's like Musas.
Oh shit! Come on, homie. Are you shitting me?
Musa.
That's
MOUSSA.
He's from the hood, homie. He's from fucking Naptown.
No. I'm saying, but what is that though? Like, what's
it's fucking Hamas, homie. He's the motherfucker out here starting these fires and shit.
He's actually cool as hell. It's just
anyway,
my neighbor,
cool.
he has a piece in it.
Be cool, but you don't know what he's doing, homie, on the side. I'm just telling you right now.
I don't know what he's doing. I will say this though: the people above me, or they're Asian. I don't know specific, but they're Asian. People below me are, I think they're Jewish. I want to say. I think so. Seriously. So I'm saying I got people above me and below me that have both complained at different times. I don't know who complained the last time. All he said was neighbor. Now my people right next to me don't say a word. Guess what they are? Black dude, firefighter. His wife is a Mexican, but she like hood though, tatted up. She basically like so they cool.
Give me the address on the two that are complaining.
Okay.
I know a guy. We'll fix that. I mean, because we got to fix it. So because we got to be able to do something. We're gonna fix that.
I'm working on some stuff too. I'm trying to see. I got a little location I can go to personally. So just bear with me, y'all. Bear with me.
You might have new neighbors this weekend. I'm just gonna keep it funky. So anyway, let's move on amicably. We got a lot to discuss here, Smitty. Title IX's kicked in.
That's crazy. When I saw this, the first person I thought about was you, because you talked about this numerous times, and I know you have so much just knowledge on it. So I'm like, this is meant for our show.
I've been saying it, dog. They're going to come out of the woodwork because they want to be relevant again. And everything that Title IX represents is now going to be a money grab. And this is what's going to happen. This is what happened. And now it peeked its head out yesterday from behind the curtains of the shadows. And now all of a sudden, Title IX again wants some fucking piece of the pie. And it's going to change the landscape, Smitty. From what I'm reading so far in the 24 hours, it's going to change because you can't hoard the money no more. It's gonna have to now go dollar for dollar as the rule and the law was intended to do.
Let me ask you this though, JB. Is there a loophole with this? Because the NIL dollars are technically coming from a collective. Can't that collective be something that's separate from a university, though, technically speaking, right?
Not the 20.5 mil, though. That's coming from the institution.
Okay.
The $20.5 million is coming from the institution, and that's why Department of Education. So see, everyone wants to get involved all of a sudden. So first of all, it's collective. I wipe my hands clean as the NCAA. I don't have nothing to do with it. Department of Ed couldn't touch it. Now all of a sudden, you've allowed Title IX to creep in. Now Department of Ed leeches on to Title IX, and now it's a Department of Education thing. But Department of Education, you didn't care when 25% less black kids graduate from your institution every year. You don't care. 25% of your kids transfer and you lose retention and FTE numbers drop, full-time enrollment. So I'm giving everybody a free game real quick. You don't care about that. You don't care about 7,000 kids sitting in a portal getting Pell Grant and Aid money and Pell and financial aid assistance. All of a sudden now, when you're afraid, you're going to scared to lose these motherfuckers. And then if the JUCO prep rule kicks in and you lose 7,000, you're not going to lose 7,000, but let's say you lose 3,500. Half of those kids go to this prep school situation, this JUCO prep. You've lost half of full-time enrollment, Pell Grant, and Grant and Aid money coming from the Department of Education. Now they're all caring about the dollar-for-dollar match, which is Title IX definition. For every dollar I give Smitty, I have to give her a dollar. And that's why you have to match up, marry up sports. That's why people cut a tennis team that has 7 people on it, and then they try to turn it into a club, which is which is not supported by the NCAA no longer, or it's Title IX. Title IX can't cover it no more. So they turn it into club sports. That's why you got
Ball State. Yep. Like when I was there, we didn't have a men's track team at Ball State, which sounds crazy, but I think because of Title IX purposes, they have to find a way to balance everything out. So it's gonna get interesting of how this works out, how this plays out. But to your point, it's like everyone's trying to get their hands involved now because they see the money, they see the dollars. But before the money, they didn't give 2 shits what was going on. It just they don't care about the student. They just care about what it can do for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate.
Why do you think these kids are in college till 28, 29 years old? Travis Hunter yesterday is coming out talking about how did this kid Beck get $10 million? He's not getting $10 million though, but he's gonna come out and say he got $10 million. Well, I want to stay and come back and get $100 million.
Right.
Like these cats don't even have an investment in going. They don't even want to go to the NFL. That's why I'm telling y'all the NFL is what it is now. It's watered down mediocrity because the players that they're getting from its farm system, college football, don't have an investment and want to be NFL stars no more. They rather make $10, $20 million in college and play as long as they can and play video games and dress in pink fucking pajamas like Travis Hunter, homie. So I'm just telling you, they don't give a fuck about
college has became the NFL because from a standpoint of a business standpoint, and then you got to think there's a lot of players like the Piago, whatever his name is, the quarterback that started all this JUCO prep stuff. He knows he's not gonna go to the NFL, just being real. So he's like, shit, I'm gonna make the money now. So then when I retire, when I'm done, then I'm in a better spot that I would have been in if I just would have left, this year. You know what I'm saying? So they're literally treating college now like it is the pros. It's almost like it's like a G League almost. Like, but you know what I'm saying? It's basically the G League now. It's literally what it is.
It is, and the G League's garbage.
Diego Pablo, so I can remember his name. Thank you.
So if we go watch the G League on a random Tuesday night, you look at it versus the big dogs right now, and you're like, fuck, this is horrible. Yeah. This is god awful. That's what college is going to become, or it is becoming that, and that's what it's going to become. Then what's going to happen, the NFL, the big dogs, are going to lose the actual attainability of those lower level program or, kids, talent that's not being developed, as I say every day in the NFL. Let's equate the G League to the NBA now. Look at the NBA's hard fall in just the last 2 years. Look at viewership. Look at what everyone's discussing. The three-point shot is killing the game. No offense, no innovativeness. Great athletes, but soft. Review a play for 10 minutes. All the shit Charles Barkley and everyone out there right now is going at. The viewership's down to the all-time low. Look at what's happening, Smitty. It's happening in front of our very eyes. No one's wanted to hear me for a while now, but it's happening. Wait till it happens. NFL will always be king, cash cow, but eventually they're going to be tired of the product if it doesn't get better. It used to get better. Now it's like, wait up, why are these quarterbacks? I saw these motherfuckers play 7 years in college. Right. I saw this dude play 7 years in college. I got to go. Now I get to watch him as a rookie in Atlanta on a shit team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, dog, it's bad right now. I don't know how you fix it. And I'm telling you, NFL, Roger Goodell, Adam Silver in NBA, the big dogs, have a major problem right now and how to fix it, because once they lose viewership, Smitty, corporate sponsors go, corporate ticket sales go, and all that money goes, and now you're back depending on the fan base that what built the NBA, the NFL, and the Pro Bowl, and all these things. They will know they're not going to go to the games. Now you're going to be begging them cats to go back, and then guess what you have to change, Smitty? Load management.
What got you here?
Fans ain't going to watch Kawhi Leonard sit on the bench, homie. That's being paid right now by corporate sponsorship. So I'm not going to go watch Wembanyama sit on the pine and miss 30 games, homie. So now you don't have corporate sponsors, you got low viewership and no fans. That's how you lose the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you,
the
dog.
problem is, though, the NBA just signed a big-time new TV contract, so they ain't going nowhere. NFL viewership is still booming right now, so they ain't going nowhere. So I hear what you're saying, but the way where it stands right now, currently, it looks like they both going to be good, at least the next 10 years at least. But I do see what you're saying. The direction is going there should raise some eyebrows for sure. Going back to our initial comparison of like the G League to college football, like I think it's similar in the sense that these athletes are looking at the college football as a professional thing now, and they're okay if that's the peak. If they're okay if they only make it to college and they go on and they got to go, get a regular job because they can make money now at that level. But the part that I kind of push back a little bit on is the difference is on the basketball side. These guys, a lot of time, these guys can go straight from high school. They might go international for like a year or something, and then they'll go straight to the G League. Or I think they actually could go, if I'm not mistaken, straight from high school to the G League now, if I'm not mistaken. So you are getting a worse product at that level, right? Where at college, there is no other like option right now. Like the best players in high school or whatever, you have to go to college. Like it is what it is. So like although you said what?
You know what you're saying?
What am I saying?
What I've been saying. You know what you're saying, right? You know you're going, right? You're setting me, giving me a lob.
Go take it then. Take it right now.
I told you these cats are going to go to this JUCO prep for 2 years. They're going to go college one into the league. They're not going to play college no more. This is what the college basketball is. College basketball is a one and done. It's been that way for a long time. A lot of people thought it ruined basketball. Kentucky sent Anthony Davis, Booker, and all these John Wall to the NBA after 1 year. They were unbelievable, but they never got developed, and then it hit them in the NBA, and then Kentucky never won a natty, and Calipari was overrated as a coach, and blah, blah, blah. That is what they're doing now. That's what's going to be. It's college football now is going to do the prep thing for 2, go to Texas for 1, Ohio State for 1, Oregon for 1, to the highest bidder for 1, and then they're going to go to the league. No development whatsoever. No fucking and then we're going to watch them?
Let me ask you this, though. Isn't the purpose of going to this JUCO prep so that you can have more years at the higher level of you actually playing? Because if you go for one and done, it kind of defeats the purpose of even going to JUCO in the first place.
Yes, but I broke this down. Why would you go for 2 years on time and then go 4 more years of college and when you can get in the NFL? No. I'm saying as far as NFL, if they give you a high draft status pick and say, oh, you're a first or second round projection, why are you going to go waste 4 years of college?
But how many? Okay, so to that point, let's stay right there.
You're not going to get that money after 2 years.
How many guys are getting first round, top 10, top 20? You know what I'm saying? How many people are getting those projections? Like,
well, that's not the problem, though. See, no one talking. That's not the problem. The problem is the rant that we went on yesterday about my interview. Who's prepping these kids in JUCO? Who's coaching these kids? I heard that San Bernardino school. That San Bernardino school is going to hire a 29, 30-year-old today
with a book bag.
That's who they're hiring.
Oh,
so,
like it's a fact? Like that's who they?
Yeah. He's a son. He's a son of a known coach.
What's his name again? You told me earlier.
I don't know. So that's what's crazy though. Those are the guys that we're dependent on to coach these guys in a prep situation to send to a 4-year for 1. Man. If that's what people that told me that I showed you the text a while back. Remember they said, dog. Here's why they're not going to play 4 years, Smitty. The NIL
and be quick, real quick, and we'll come back as Doc is here.
The NIL agent is getting involved. The NIL agent is going to pay a kid to go to the 2-year untimed down school and pay them as long as they retain them as their agent when they get to the NFL. So the NIL agent, the street agent who doesn't need a certification to become an NIL agent, which is a major problem, they will take these kids in JUCO and sign them, and then those kids will sign with them. They'll go play for one, a big bag from Sark or Lanning for one to get the best player for that 1 year, like basketball does. And then to the league, dog, because the NIL agent's already involved. They got the money going. They got the sponsors already. They got everything already ready. They don't got to waste and worry about. Smitty, why would you play 4 years if y'all won't even play a fucking bowl game? That's meaningless. You say it's a meaningless bowl game, you're going to get hurt. Why would you play 4 years if you already got a first-round draft projection out of a 2-year institution that's non-timed?
If you are a guy with a first-round draft projection, I'm with you. But there's going to be a lot of guys who got a third-round draft projection in the fourth round. Majority of the guys will be in that window is what my argument is. But we'll come back to that. Dr. Jesse Morse is here to end the week out the right way, to give us the insight on who's hurt, who's starting, who's not, whatever, going into this playoff weekend. So, Dr. Jesse Morse, come on to the show. Come in to the show in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
I used to have a girl count. I used to have a girl count like that for me.
When? What's the name?
Like, when you're,
she would count.
She count like she wanted to count it down to like one and bust. Yeah.
Sounded like woo. I thought she was like counting the pumps for you. I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Nah, she wanted she wanted her number one to mean bust.
Yeah, interesting. How many times was he accurate? Like, hey, what's up with that? Dr. Jesse Morse is here. What's going on, man? He cleaning the board of health, boy.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
What up, Doc?
How are we?
All right, man, hanging in there. How's that weather? Are you getting the cold front there?
Yeah, it's cold. It's 67.
Same here. It's cold. It's 72.
Hell yeah! Hey, they're saying it's going through the whole East Coast is ice, and the West Coast is on fire. It's crazy, man. We still got fires starting up. It's crazy. Doc, the NFL playoffs are here, second round. There's a lot of big games in here. I want to start with the Buffalo Ravens, which everyone's going to be glued to. Any injuries of significance in that game?
I don't think Zay Flowers is going to play. He hasn't practiced yet. This is a hard injury.
Remind us what he has.
He has likely a LCL posterolateral corner, meaning the outside of the knee, because he got hit on the inside when he was upside down. And the problem with that is you can't cut back to the inside because that's the stabilizer for your outside. So him being super shifty, it's just super risky. It's only been 10 days, 12 days, whatever it's been. It's going to be super cold. And I know they want him to play. I just don't think it's in his best interest to play.
Right. So
I understand that you might be done after this game and you might not, but I get it. There's no easy solution here. They might say, hey, if you can be a decoy, I don't. It's unfortunate. It would be beautiful if he was in this game. I just don't think his knee is healthy enough to be in this game.
So if Lamar is able to lead this team to a victory without his number one wide receiver, we should all probably give Lamar even a little bit more credit, right? Like, would you say that?
I mean, Lamar is doing amazing things. This year he stepped it up even more with the help of a ridiculous running back who's 30 or something. We usually don't see that. Josh Allen has better wide receivers, but none of them get more than 3-4 passes a game. Between Shakir, Cooper, Coleman,
spread out.
It's super spread out. Like Cooper had one pass last week. I mean,
Hey, Doc, did you hear what's going on? Do you hear Smitty making excuses already? He said, Zay Flowers is hurt. Lamar couldn't win. I can't wait for Monday.
So it'll be it's going to be a great game. I have no idea how it's going to play.
Credit that number one receiver was out.
In my opinion, whoever wins the running game wins this game.
Oh well.
Can't wait for Monday. Can't wait for Lamar.
If that's the case, I think we know who's going to win the game.
I don't know. All I know is it's going to be a good game. I don't know which way it's going to go. I'm expecting a blizzard.
I think Buffalo mollywops them in the snow.
I bet you any money right now.
I'll be honest.
I think it's going to be like old school backyard football.
I think Derek getting 32 carries. I think Lamar's going to run 13 times for 80 yards. Derek's going to run 30 times for 160. James Cook going to run for 20 carries for 5.
Oh, yeah. And then Allen's going to do everything he can.
It's going to be a game.
Allen's a factor. You can't find Allen. You can't tackle him in the snow. Lamar doesn't do well in the snow. Josh Allen does. Just wait.
It's going to be a great game. I'm not even going to bet any line for this. I just might put a couple prop bets in, but I just love. I'm looking forward to
money line on the
one.
Ravens, Doc. If you want some money line on the Ravens.
Let's talk the other game. Let's go through the other games. Zay Flowers is a huge one for the Ravens. Let me pull up the schedule again. Let's go Washington, Detroit. Jaden Daniels' knee, I don't believe it's any issue at all. I know he gets bent around like crazy, but any other issues there?
David Montgomery is 100%.
He's back.
He's back.
I mean, he's not 100%, but he's going to play. You know.
Damn.
Okay. And then they don't have any of their big defensive guys back yet.
That's actually big for Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, it gives Gibbs a breather, in my opinion. Gibbs has been absolutely incredible, regardless of the quarter. I saw it recently broken down by quarter. He's been incredible at every stage of the game. And he, you know, him and Achane kind of remind me of each other, but I feel like we didn't think Achane could get the volume this year, and he did. And then people say, well, Gibbs can't get the volume, but he's been able to handle it and been stupid. So, you know, either way, I think that's going to be a great game. Is it possible for Jaden to pull this off? I don't know, but all I know is that I'm looking forward. Last week's games were mid. This week's game should be much better.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
No doubt.
Real quick, I know it's not super relevant for this particular exact weekend, but has there been any just updates or news as far as Aiden Hutchinson's just recovery process?
They haven't given anything. I think if they manage to get to the Super Bowl, I think he'd probably play. Before that, I think it's a tall task.
That's still insane. Yeah. Go ahead, JB.
Big game, Rams Eagles in a cold weather game. Stafford does not do well, but on the other end of it, McVay has never allowed a 100-yard rusher in all of his playoff wins, which is equal to Mike Tomlin. He's already got the same amount of wins in the playoffs as Mike Tomlin, and he's 5.
That's 10 years left. I think he's like 40 now, but yeah, he's still young as hell.
Yep. So I think he's 40. The Eagles are a little banged up. The Rams are actually pretty healthy.
Nakua?
Not even on the report.
Huh. Good.
Either 38 years old.
And we saw that knee. We saw him favoring it. So they're not concerned about it enough to even put him on the injury report. And he's actually limited. So that tells me he did not have a significant rib fracture.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So there's a possibility I'd be astonished if he doesn't play. He's got back-to-back limiteds. They obviously haven't practiced yet today. I expect him to play. He might need some painkillers. He might need some, flak jacket or whatever. But, and he might leave early. But he'll be on the field, in my opinion.
Yeah. The chat's going crazy. Corum's out. He broke his forearm, bro.
Unfortunately, nothing you can do about that. He's out 3 to 6 weeks. He's done, regardless of how far
it's Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams getting heavy loaded in this game, just like he has all year. Speaking of Dean, he said some injuries are on the Eagles side. So let's talk to Jacoby. He's hurt, right?
Jacoby.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's done for maybe 25.
Oh,
maybe. Yeah, this is a bad injury. Injury.
Tank Dell?
Patellar tendon ruptures are awful. They're very, very bad.
Tank Dellish?
No, not that bad. That's worse.
They said Tank Dell might be out 26. They said Tank Dell.
In my opinion, Tank Dell had his surgery yesterday or the day before, and that was his first surgery. So, and he'll probably they usually reconstruct the LCL, the MCL, and maybe repair the meniscus depending on what they decide to do. Then they'll wait about 6 to 8 weeks. And then they'll reconstruct his ACL, which is what happened to Nick Chubb basically last year. So with that being said, even December, next December would be 11 months out for death, and I just don't think, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think he's done for 25.
Damn.
So,
all right. So
what else outside of Dean's? Any other injuries with the Eagles specifically?
So,
right
Saquon was just resting. AJ Brown's had knee issues for the past several years. He has been resting. In my opinion, it's probably meniscus. If I were to guess, he's had some meniscal issues in the past. He'll play. He just wasn't very effective last week. I don't know if it was planned or whatever. But Dallas Goedert was just sick. I'm assuming he'll be fine, but he's just sick. I'm looking at the list right now. Jalen Hurts is fine with his left finger. He broke that left finger a while back, and his concussion, and that's fine. Pickett, he's a backup at this point, but his ribs should be close. And then everyone else should be okay. I don't see any DNPs besides Goddard, which is just illness.
And the last one, Doc, Kansas City Texans.
So Kansas City is as healthy as they've been in a long time. Obviously, they had 3 weeks or whatever they had.
Like, it always works out in their favor. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be hurt. I'm just saying, like, damn. Like,
Chris Jones is calf, probably not 100%, but close. Pacheco is rib injury, probably okay. The only one that is probably not going to play is Mecole Hardman, but he's more of a deep wide receiver kind of back, a special teams guy. He's on IR anyway. Everyone else is healthy. Everyone else for the Chiefs is healthy. The thing about the Texans is that Joe Mixon somehow suffered an ankle injury, but I don't even know when it happened because he finished the game with over 100 yards and he had a touchdown with like 3 minutes to go in the game. So I don't know when it happened, but they listed him as questionable, which usually tells me it's a little bit more than nothing. But he practiced, so I'm expecting him to play. But they got this is a tough matchup for him, and I'm assuming it's going to be cold. So I don't know how effective he's going to be, but
he going to play.
Oh, I'm not worried about him playing. I'm worried about how effective he's going to be.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And that's the major. That's the major names.
That's it. Let me look at my list. Off the top of my head, that's it.
No linemen, no tackles, no protector.
There's a couple.
Mahomes' brother, TikTok video or anything?
The Chiefs always find a way, though, right? They just find a way. Stuff just works out in their favor. Even the little details, just every little thing works out in their favor. This is crazy. I don't know.
I know the Chiefs for a fact are 100%. The Texans. The Chiefs have a bunch of guys on their list, but it's all healthy.
Quiet time.
Al-Shazier may be out. We'll have to see. He's been DNP. He was DNP on Tuesday, but they haven't updated a report since. Shoulder, Dalton Schultz will be fine. I'm not over worried about anyone else. We'll see about Scruggs and we'll see about Mason.
Who's the backup for Mixon right now? Pierce?
Yep.
Huh. Interesting. Those are the games this week, Smitty. I don't know. Real quick, Doc, I know you don't talk college as much, but the Natty is Monday. I saw you covering a few other sports the other day on your channel. Towns, the basketball player for the Knicks, and a couple guys. Any issues with the Natty and Notre Dame and Ohio State that you know of?
I haven't seen anything. Well, I have to see what's going. I have to get an update. I have to get an update on the Ohio State quarterback.
Will Howard.
Remember how he had that huge bubble on his left hand?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we ever heard what that was.
And the big wideout didn't really do much in that game. Texas's DBs are probably the best in the country anyway, and they're first rounders, but they kind of stymied the big time wideout there at Ohio State last week in that Texas game. So I'm curious if his hand affected that. We'll see.
So I mean, I'm curious to see it. I haven't been following this as much, but it's been a busy week at clinic.
No doubt. Good for you, though.
Great for you.
Hey, happy betting. Happy DFS-wise, real quick as you leave, stay away from Mixon probably, because if he goes out early, it's an issue. And I know
Not
Mixon's
only that, I think the Chiefs can win a 17-19 game.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions game is not going to be 17-19.
No.
That's going to be like 42-10 30 or something like that. So if you're playing DFS, unless you're trying to get cute,
55 to 52 field goal.
Hey, I know though the quarterback in that game for me is not Goff on Prize Picks tonight. I mean this weekend it's going to be Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels can throw 4 touchdowns and run for another and
Correct.
still lose the game.
Correct. And we know Goff is reliable, but they have Gibbs, they have Montgomery. You can pretty much count each of them a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to take at least 2, if not 3, away from Goff. So from a DFS, perspective for the weekend, in my opinion, it's either Lamar, Allen, or Jaden, depending on.
I'll probably go with Lamar, probably.
I would take Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown too as one of my other.
Oh yeah, I think Hollywood's going to catch one.
Nico, John. I'm taking Nico all day. Collins. I'm probably taking.
I go with Mark Andrews for my tight end.
And to save some money, because Smitty's he's a micro thinker, Doc. He's not a macro thinker. To save some money, I'm going to take that backup tight end for the Rams because Higbee seems iffy. I'm going to take that other kid, Parkinson, who's been doing real well. You can get him for like $3,100 on DraftKings, Prize Picks, and other things. So you can get him on the low. So Smitty's not really. He doesn't bet like that. He doesn't understand it, but it's cool. Hey, Doc, appreciate you, man. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
All right, brother. Smitty, we got to get to the quote of the day.
Quote of the day, homie. It's quote of the day. It's brought to you by Bet US, where if you bet up to $2,000, you get 150% plus welcome bonus if you use promo code Coach JB, and you get insurance, you get protection, you get all types of other perks on there. Go on the website right now. Matter of fact, wait till our commercial break, then go to Bet US, use promo code Coach JB. Bet $2,000 exactly, get 150% bonus, get your insurance, get everything you need, and go place a bet on these weekend games. Do it right during commercial break. JB, what we got?
Quote of the day, brought to you by everything he just said. Smitty,
yeah.
I think this week overall, if I were to judge, has been the best quote of the day, contrary to belief combination of any week. I think it ranks number 1 overall. Because you got like 4 days out of the 5 so far in your top 11, you said.
Yeah.
So it has to be overall number 1 week.
Hell of a week by you. Let's finish off with the right way with a bang.
Y'all better stop disliking people over what you heard and be thankful God isn't disliking you over what he knows. God damn, homie. Oh, man.
That was too powerful what you just did on that.
I used to tell my players that shit, and they would just sit there like.
That's kind of crazy what you just said.
Because, my players are fucking not very bright. So they were sitting there like.
You had to say it again from from understanding.
You always repeat them, dog. Always repeat them. But y'all better stop disliking motherfuckers over what you heard and be thankful God isn't disliking your asses for what he knows.
That's some power.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. That can't be the number 1, is it? Because I gotta think about it. That right there is different. That's some different shit you just said right there. Like y'all over here judging JB for opinions and falsehoods and he said, she said. When God gonna judge you for what he knows for a fact what you doing right now, Kellen Maurice, Jay Steezy, Texan Spur, Quan Zito. He saw what you did last night, Quan. Put the lotion down, Quan. He saw what you did, Grandmaster Wu. Jazzy Jazz, put that toy down. They saw what you did, Secret Sauce.
Quan, tell Smitty, for all the black folks in here, Long Beach is red now. Let them know, homie. Let them know, brother to brother.
I'm always in Long Beach. It's like a home away from home, homie.
Y'all better stop disliking people over what you heard and be thankful God isn't disliking you over what he knows. Somebody asked me to say it again.
Hey, man, get all that real quick, man. Shout out to Hemi Noise, man. He been supporting me for a long time, man. Give Smitty his flowers, man. Been watching Smitty since the OG Speak for Yourself days. Shout out to Hemi Noise, man. Hey man, send him some money, y'all. Chat. That's my dog right there. It's a long time right there supporting me.
Not a member though. Can't be too supportive.
That's my guy though. It's cool. It's cool.
Nah.
It's cool. He's been supporting for a long time, Jason.
Gotta keep it real though. He's not supporting us though.
All right, Hemi, show that you real and become a member right now, Hemi.
You get 10% of this.
Become a member, Hemi, please. I'm gonna shout you out immediately.
Prize Picks brought to you, contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks, Smitty.
Mm-hmm.
People will talk behind your back. Don't worry. They're behind you for a reason. Contrary to belief.
This guy here is in his bag right now, Gene. Your guy JB's in his bag right now. I can't listen. I show love when it needs to be shown. I ain't gonna hate on him. He in his bag right now, man. They behind you for a reason. Way back there.
You gotta hold the mirror up. You gotta
look at the mirror.
I don't hold mirrors up. I don't hold mirrors because I don't look back. I ain't going that way.
You never look at your rearview mirror.
No.
Let's go back to some earlier, bigger news real quick, man. First of all, shout out to you, man. That was beautiful. Contrary to belief, quote of the day. Shout out to Prize Pick, shout out to Bet US. Also, shout out to Winnable, man. They sent us some merch a while back. I got to give you your box next time I send you. Hoodies, cups, shirts, all that.
Season over.
You wear it for basketball season? But back to some bigger news, though. We were talking about a little earlier. You said you used to have a lady who would count for you. Kind of break that down. I know Jazzy said she wanted to try that at some point. So break it down to fully. So
wait. I don't get what's going on.
You were giving us some free game. It's Friday. Free game Friday. We're going to freestyle a little bit. You know how we get down. You were talking about, you said you had a woman who would count to 10 or count from 10 to 1. Explain that slowly for the chat because there's people in the chat who was trying to incorporate that into their bedroom.
You can do it two ways. Either she gawking and she trying to you could count.
Right. Because you know.
Because she can't talk.
Well, she could, but it'd be like, I ain't gonna do it, but she could. It'd just be like she had to talk from here.
I hope you won't do it. I hope you can't do it.
No, I'm sorry. Make the noise.
That'd be more disturbing than the fucking. That'd be more disturbing than the bar stool, homie.
That was disturbing, homie.
If you talk with a mouthful as a man,
I'm not doing
that's more. Anyway, so I could be like, girl, 10, 9, 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That makes more sense because But if you got a real one,
it's only when the gog though. That's only when she gog.
If you got a real one though, who been you've been for a while, and she know your shit real good, she can feel that shit. You know what I mean? So she know.
If she good enough, she'll tell you what you ate.
Well, yeah. You have some vinegar? What the fuck is wrong with you? You have some collard greens, Jason. Why do you eat macaroni and cheese?
You ate salmon? You ate salmon? Swordfish?
Yeah, catfish nuggets? What are you
Homie, I've had a bitch tell me, you had chicken? A la carte? I'm like, bitch, they told me that a whole meal, homie.
She gave you specifics, homie?
You know who it was?
What? Who?
Mock me.
She told you you had a la carte, homie. Got to pay for the shit separate. It didn't come as a meal. It didn't come as a combo, homie.
But here's the thing. When you fucking, she the one counting. She counting.
Because she count for herself when she about to woo.
No, she counts when she want you to bust on one on demand on her count.
Oh.
I'll give you a free game.
That's some game you just gave me. I ain't gonna lie, that's some game. I might try that later on.
So you gotta mentally you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you gotta be stroking at the right time to know, damn, she on 6 and I don't know if I'm ready at 1. Then I gotta
figure it out.
Or I gotta speed up or slow down or whatever. If you bust at 2 though, it don't count.
You gotta start over. It's kind of cool though when your girl is telling you like, come for me. You like, damn. Like you got to now. You got to.
Say it again.
What does this emoji mean? I know what it means. I know what it means, homie.
I don't know what it means.
Explosion, homie. Lee, I know you was a freak, Lee. See, you be trying to act all goody tissue. I know you was a freak. Poll question, and then we're gonna comment something before Matt. So let's go to poll question, Jason. What do you got for me? What do you got for the chat, homie?
Say "come for me" again, the way you did.
I can't say it when you ask me to say it, because now it's pause. Like you can't say, Darnell, say "come for me" again. No, I can never say it now. So I'll try to say it naturally later on in the show when it's a random moment, but I can't say it when you ask me to say it, because now that makes us on some weird energy that we never gonna go that route.
You know what edging is?
That's when you get real close to busting and then you hold back. It's like a tease thing that they do, but they also say it can help you control your time frame and how long you last. I tried it once, but I'd be ready to bust. I ain't got time fucking around.
You know what it's good for, though?
I tell you what it's good for.
No, it's actually good for your prostate, for the man.
Yeah.
It controls it. So when you got prostate cancer and you got to get your asshole ripped out, and they put a tube in your ass, and you got to be pissing and shitting and all that shit through there, and you got to control, you got to wear a diaper when you get like 70 and 80. That edging, when you got a lot of pussy like me, that edging control over time, that edging that I used to do when I was young, now my shit it'll come right back normal when they gut me out and surgically remove my shit, and I have a brand new prostate. Then I don't have to wear the bag and the diaper and shit, because I won't do it. I just do this. Boom, wow, I'll be done. Huh?
Have you got your prostate checked? And you're like 50, so you're literally at that age. You got it checked, right?
I'm not 50, but yeah.
You got it checked, right? You're at that. I mean, to you, it's probably nothing. You already, you get your prostate checked every week anyway. You know how you get down. So that's like a regular, you probably enjoy that shit. You probably, hey, can I get a woman doctor, please? Okay, thank you. You enjoy that shit. You lay down to the side and shit.
Well, no, AE's actually prostate check me in.
You probably got like a doctor homegirl who just comes to your house and just check it and then lick it for you.
You ever had the female doctor check you and she's the one that's sitting there and then she's like, pull your shit down.
Yeah, like when I used to get physical, I used to get hard.
I'm like, I never got hard, homie. That's weird.
No, when I was 14,
my shit be little. My shit be like hidden. It'd be inverted and shit. In a doctor's office, you'd be like, "This bitch gonna do?" She gonna give me a fucking needle on me, and motherfucking men shit'll shrivel up like they're in the pool. But I had this broad come in. She was bad as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
She was a buck me, and I was like, all right, well, all the nurses are buck me.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much every nurse.
Nah, it's
the buck me.
You in LA.
So I walked in and she's like, how you doing? Ooh. And then she's like, sit down. Disrobe. And I'm like, disrobe for what? The doctor coming in, Usually a dude that comes in and checks your balls.
Hurry up, man. Right. Get away.
This broad was like, I need to see her, I'm like,
nah, man.
Damn. So I'm over there like.
Trying to wake it up a little bit.
Hell yeah. I'm like, shit, I can't show this motherfucker inverted, homie. I can't show this motherfucker inverted. So I'm trying to at least give her a little bit of meat.
Wake it up a little bit.
I get a little meat, so it's something crack.
Yeah, homie.
Yeah, I don't want to go at home like this. JB would buck me.
And
I'm like, fuck, homie.
With the little ass.
Yeah. That motherfucker, I couldn't even find motherfucker look like he got a clit.
Hey, that's a real talk shit. Hey, that's fucking real. Wake up, homie. Wake up. See a baddie. Now,
I'm trying to cover
it. I definitely got it. My shit was before. Because the physical, the girl used to touch the.
Yeah.
To grab your shit. Like, oh, I'm 13. I'm young.
I'm over here trying to make small talk bullshit and so my shit grow a little bit.
Yeah.
Girl, when did you guys start doing this? Like I'm over there beating my shit.
So how long you been a nurse? So what made you want to be a nurse? Like, what made you go to nursing school?
Hey, by the way, all you guys, all you women out there, the smaller it is, the more it grows. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, my shit's small as fuck.
Women, listen, men not walking around just fucking just big time all day. Like, we be chilling now. We chilling. Right now, I'm chilling right now.
Hey, my shit little as a motherfucker. My shit little as a motherfucker right now, ladies. Just so you guys know, the smaller it is, the more it grows. The more skin is on that motherfucker. It grow like that.
Baby, is what? I don't know, it's what right
My shit little as a motherfucker right now.
Poll question real quick, man. This is a sports show, by the way. This sports show. Poll question before we take a commercial break, before Matt comes in real quick. I got to ask you, Smitty. Are the Eagles in trouble against the Rams? That's the poll question. All you guys, let me know what you guys think.
Trouble. They in trouble, homie. I got the Rams winning. I'm going to say it right now. I don't care. I got the L.A. Rams winning.
Wait, you switched up?
Yeah. I did.
You been all Eagles, all Saquon, all this shit?
Saquon's a dog, but he had 255 rushing yards against the Rams last time. You made an interesting stat. You said Shaun McVay is not allowed a 100-yard rusher in the playoffs. They're watching that film, and they know, hey, if we slow down Saquon and make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, he going to throw us a couple of them. And we trust Matthew Stafford and Shaun McVay over Jalen Hurts and Sirianni. And I just think, man, that Rams defense is healthy. They're young, but they're hungry, and they're looking good right now. I think they're numbered all week. They've been told, stop Saquon. And I know it's easier said than done. He's gonna break off a few runs, but I think their scheme defensively is going to be to stop him and force Jalen Hurts to beat him. If Jalen Hurts can now listen, we've seen Jalen Hurts beat defenses before too now, so he's capable of throwing 300-some yards, 3 touchdowns. He has Devontae Smith out there. He has A.J. Brown. He has weapons everywhere. But we got to see it because I haven't seen Jalen Hurts great game, and I can't tell you the last time I saw a Jalen Hurts great game. So that's my thing right now, man. I think it's a super scary game for the Eagles. The only benefit, to your point, is that I think the weather could play a factor. If it's cold, if it's one of those nasty games, that benefits Philly more than the Rams, in my opinion.
Matthew Stafford's like 1-8 in cold weather.
That's what makes me that's the thing that makes me nervous right there.
I don't think it makes me nervous anymore, though. Here's a reason why. This is the difference. I think the first half will tell you who to bet for if you want to put a big dollar amount down. If Jalen Hurts has 200-plus yards or something like that in the first half and it's a close game, the Rams are winning the game. Tell you straight out. Jalen Hurts, when he throws for a lot of yards, they lose. Fact. When he throws for less yards and more of his feet get involved is when the Eagles win and are almost impossible to beat. The first half is going to tell you right now, if they're shutting down Saquon and he's throwing the ball and actually getting wideouts involved, but it's a close game, it's not a good recipe for the Eagles. And I'm just telling you, he could throw for 300-something yards. If Jalen Hurts throws for anywhere near 300 yards, they're going to lose. That's the crazy part about it. And that is what he's done. Look at the games in his career. Look at the games. Super Bowl, threw for 300 or whatever, lost. Look at all the situations Jalen Hurts balled in as far as statistically with his arm, and they lose. It's just fact. And I think A.J. Brown knows that. I think Devontae Smith knows that. I think these guys know it, and that's why they have shut down on him, which is a problem to me, because eventually the cancers will run throughout your entire locker room, and unless they figured it out this week, I just think this cat could be reading a motherfucking another book. Hope you read Hate Me Now, Love Me Later, AJ. Blow my shit up too. So we'll see, man. But I think the Rams, I'm a Rams guy, so I'm going to pick Rams. But the Eagles are kind of a nemesis to the Rams. And I'm going to be honest, in the cold weather, though, Stafford still can spin the football. I don't think Hurts can. And if the Rams load the box and tells Hurts to beat me with your arm in the snow, it could be a recipe for disaster for Philadelphia.
Who do you say is the X factor, like, for both teams in this game? Like, for the Rams, I would honestly say Kyron Williams. Just having him run the ball well and take the pressure off of Stafford so he doesn't have to throw the ball 50 sometimes. And then, for the Eagles, who's the X factor for the Eagles? I almost want to say
it's Goddard. It's no question.
Man, I'm gonna go defensive side. Who's the D tackle, the baller for the Eagles? I'm having the brain for it.
I'm going Dallas Goddard though, because he's an extension of the line of scrimmage. He's a defensive
Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis.
Jalen Carter, yeah, I have the brain for it. Thank you, Bailey. I think Jalen Carter's gonna be an X factor in terms of just the way you slow Stafford down or any great quarterback is that inside pressure. And I've seen great D tackles literally impact games and change games like that. Chris Jones, Aaron Donald.
I haven't seen one change the game in snow. You got it the field in snow? Hell no. Come on, homie. Stop.
Is it guaranteed? How much snow is it going to be, homie?
5 inches of snow before the game.
Ain't they? Is it going to stop before the game?
Man, snowing, homie.
No, is it going to stop before the game, or is it because that matters, homie? That matters.
Just no.
They're going to clear the field off, homie.
By the way, the Rams pass rushers, Verse and what's the boy's name? What is he? 10 or whatever. They have to now be controlled in their pass rush and worry about run game instead of pass game. They don't need to rush. They don't need to drive. They don't need to get up the field and make Hurts step up. They need to control the line of scrimmage. They need to take on, and Matt's coming in here in a second. They got to take on that shit and hold it like we used to teach at the line of scrimmage. Make sure I can see the run inside, B gap, A gap.
Rush lane's going to be very important, homie.
Shed it. Now, I'm not full going up the field now in the snow. And Jalen Hurts, the game plan is changing, and I think McVay understands it. So does Sirianni, of course. These two guys are the highest winning percentages, by the way, left in the playoffs. 70 versus 65, I think. And then obviously Andy Reid. And then you got your boy Shanahan, that's 53% winning percentage, and y'all still think he's legit. Anyway, let's take a commercial break. Come back with Big Mac McChesney on the other side. Peace.
Has come out with a show called Wags to Riches, highlighting the lives of the wives and girlfriends of sports stars. It includes the wags of Chad Ochocinco, Tyreek Hill, and Robbie Chosen Anderson. And I gotta show you this trailer right now. Wait.
Time out. Start over. What?
Wags to Riches. Wags, W-A-G-S, stands for wives and girlfriends. So it's the wives and girlfriends of sports stars. So you have Chad Ochocinco's ex-girl, actually. This probably got pre-recorded before they broke up. You got Tyreek Hill's wife and Robbie Chosen Anderson's girl as well. We have a trailer right here. We're going to watch it.
Robbie Chosen Anderson.
The receiver who changed his name to Chosen. He was with the Jets, I believe. Then he moved to the Panthers.
I don't know if I want to see this.
He's a fair receiver. Well, we're going to show it for the fans regardless, so take a listen.
Old definition of wags was like, oh, I'm a kept bitch, but now I'm making my money. That's the new wag. Nice camera action. I'm loud.
In this circle, all with high-profile men that elevate us, but we elevate their ass too. We have our own businesses. 2 hustlers are better than 1.
Even being with the athlete, never financially depend on a man.
Your girl be a rich-ass developer.
So, I mean, listen, I probably tune into the show with my girl. You know, my girl like to watch little stuff like that sometimes, so I'll probably be with her, watch it with her. You know what I'm saying? Before we make love on the living room couch. So I don't know nothing about none of these dudes' girls. The only person I kind of know a little bit about is Chad's old girl, because she her own boss. Like she's really deep into the real estate. She had her own like reality real estate show on Netflix before. The other ladies, I don't know what they do at all. I've never seen them before at all. But JB, I'm sure you're gonna be watching that with probably some of your AEs next couple of weeks, or what's your plan?
First of all, I don't watch Netflix. Second of all, I wouldn't go to your house and sit on your couch ever again. or ever. I never have yet, but I never will. So
Hold on,
thanks for.
Jason. You tell me you ain't ever fucked on your couch? Don't lie.
Say what?
Yeah. You heard what I said.
No, I haven't.
You never fucked on your couch ever in your life.
And first of all, rephrase what you said, homie. You just said you're telling me you've never gotten fucked on your couch.
No,
that
I
sounds
did. I said no. Rewind it. Flip that off and put it on the canal.
Holy shit! No, I haven't got fucked.
Say that.
I haven't got fucked on my couch.
I did not say that, homie. Dead homie.
And by the
say
way,
that.
yeah, I don't get fucked.
Dead homie.
By the way,
say that. You get tongue fucked down there.
By the way, though,
I didn't ask you that, homie.
Contrary to your belief, though.
You get all.
I got multiple rooms. I do most of the shit like in the theater or the lounge. I don't do that on the couches because the couches stay. I'm never in there, Smitty. Have you ever seen me in there?
You're right, because like you got that. It's white. You got the car. Yeah, you real particular about your couch. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't let the
you fucking lounge on the cigar table before. On the bar.
Not on a cigar table. Too high. No. On a stool though. The stool is the best way to fuck a bitch. She straddles this.
Okay.
You know that, right?
You talking about you straddle and you lean her over and you keep the ass off the edge?
Yeah, only like this. She sit on the motherfucker. I don't want to demonstrate, but she sit on it like this. Homie, like sitting at the bar. But the ass is off.
Get off the chair.
But anyway, have you seen a bitch straddle the chair? This is the best fucking right here ever.
He doubled down, homie.
Best fucking ever though. Just imagine the bitch on this, homie, and then like you standing behind her, obviously, and then she leaned forward. I'm not gonna lean forward, but she leaned forward.
JB, how she be sitting, JB?
She sit on the chair like she had a bar, homie. You gotta put the ass off, homie. You gotta put the ass off. You gotta put the ass off, homie. We are back in the building, man. With my main man, the one and only owner, operator, CEO of 0 to 60 Pod with Bailey. 7-year NFL vet and Colorado buff, our main man, Matt McChesney. Big Matt joins us. New co-host, by the way, of the Coach AB Show. New co-host of the Coach AB Show because my other one is on BPS time and he's always late. What's up, Matt?
Is he not there today?
No, he's here. The motherfucker late again.
Oh, well, that happens. What's up, dog? How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday out there, everybody. Tune into the show today at 1. Bailey and I will be cutting it up. What's up, dog?
Free Game Friday, Matt. Free Game Friday. I was telling everybody the game. Girls, how they count down when you're about to bust.
Yeah, I was just watching some of that shit. You guys are killing me today, so I love it. I'm laughing my ass off. Yeah, I mean, sure, let's get involved with this conversation. Why not? Fuck it.
Hey, what size shirt is that? A fucking medium? So you look swole or what?
It's a double X. I'm feeling a little fucking big today. It's what it is.
Me too. I got 3X on though. So I lost so much weight, man.
I got home from the hustle. I got home from the hustle this morning, and I was late getting to the desk, and I told my big one to go get me a T-shirt because he's off school, and he handed me this small ass T-shirt. So
Matt's a Marine right now, homie, like a Marine.
But I'm also not going to apologize for being way smaller than both of you. So
I wouldn't say way smaller than me, but probably
I lost so much weight. Hey, Smitty, hey, Matt, I lost so much weight. Now I look like I don't know, like my shit is like, my dick got bigger though. Crazy.
Flabby and shit, honestly. Like, if I took my straw off, this whole motherfucker, the chat would lose their mouth.
I don't know why this thing has to be so fucking close to me all the time. It's whatever. Let's talk about football.
I don't want to talk about football.
All right, well, let's talk about some fucking or something then. What do you want to talk about today?
There we go.
Let's talk about the Lakers and the Nuggets.
Let's talk about agents. Let's talk about agents and why they're so shady.
No, I got a great. Let's go. I got a great topic. Fuck Bailey's whole rundown. I got a great topic.
Read the whole Google Doc. Read the whole Google Doc.
Shady ass motherfucker.
Hey, we could talk about agents, but I got something I want to bring up. Hey Bailey, can you bring up this?
Talkers.
Oh yeah, I want to bring up two things with you, Matt. I think it'll be a great conversation.
Dos convos, let's go.
First thing is, we gotta stop giving keys to Hellcats, Scat Packs, and fucking $200,000 cars to 17 to 20-year-olds who haven't even driven a Prius yet. But what do I know? I've been the only one for 3 years.
Got broke off now.
Matt, I've been saying this for 3 years. How are you? Just because you have a driver's license doesn't mean you know how to fucking drive. That means you manipulated a shitty-ass fucking driving test, and you think you know how to drive. You know how to drive a fucking Prius? Maybe. But to give a kid the latest of so many.
Yeah, I saw this.
Backup quarterback LSU was injured in a car wreck, by the way, on campus. And from what I'm realizing and from what I'm researched, guess what? Guess what's happening, though? These guys think they're so fucking cool, and they have no regard for life. No regard, because you don't know how to fucking drive, you shitbird. So guess what they do? They think they're cool. And they're fucking around at 2 a.m. on campus with their homies, and they're racing in the parking lot, and they lose control because they have no fucking idea how to drive. And then they hit a speed. Hey, dog, this is continuing to happen. And I told you guys 2-3 years ago, stop giving these motherfuckers these cars. I would never let my kids have that shit right now when they haven't even drove a Ford B210 yet.
I don't know how to drive it. If you gave me that car right now, I wouldn't know how to probably drive because I never drove it.
Well, look, even regardless of the car, if you're doing this at 2:45 in the morning drunk, you're fucked. I don't care what car you're in, you're fucked.
I don't know if he's drunk. I don't know if he's drunk.
Yeah, we don't know the details. So, in fairness,
was he drunk or was he just?
I don't know, Matt. I don't know.
Jason saw this post and that's it. We got to read up on this.
All right. Well, okay. So I'm not going to assume he was drunk, but
he was found unresponsive, though.
Okay.
Not from the wreck, not from the injury.
Anything in the system, whatever. It's irresponsible to say the least. Doing this in any car at 2:45 in the morning is probably going to get you fired. The Fast and the Furious is not. It's a fucking TV show. It's a movie. Like, it's not real life. The inability to decipher the difference is it's amazing to me with this generation. And look, I don't wish ill will on any of these young men, but god damn, how dumb are some of these guys, man. I mean, just stop with the stupidity. Self-sabotage is a funny thing, homie. Like, people have the ability to really fuck themselves, and like,
man, I'm gonna be on your side.
We were all 17, and I can't speak for y'all what y'all was doing, but I know I've been in cars with a friend driving and trying to race down the street. Now, we didn't have no nice car like that, but racing is racing, right? And I've been
at 3 in the morning and shit.
Just thank God I didn't end up getting in an accident.
Well, why is everybody so enamored with fucking racing these days, bro?
I don't know. I think to JB's point, they get these nice ass cars that's capable of going 200 and some miles per hour, and it just you're 17, you're immature, you've never had it before. It's like having a new toy.
It's bad. It's bad all the way around.
Matt, I'm actually going to be on your side on a lot. I mean, my take may not be what you say, but I'm going to agree with what you've been saying for years on the show with me. Like, I always go against the kid and shit, and I have to blame the fucking adults in the room at this stage in this current landscape because I'm telling you right now, we are felling these kids at an all-time high at every level, from NIL to this portal allowability to the fucking reason they get paid to these cars are getting and more money than ever, and these kids being allowed to fucking demand an NIL payment, leave Texas Tech, go to A&M. Now he's left A&M for personal reasons during January winter conditioning. I did a rant yesterday on this kid. Dog, it just keeps stacking up, man. They're not doing it, Matt, because they're doing it to spite you. They're doing it because they're allowed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the adults created this whole fucking mess. And I'm just telling you now, it's too fucking far gone to get it back. Now Title IX's involved, Matt. I did a whole lead-in this morning. Title IX now is taking over, and they peeked their shitty heads back in this thing because guess what? Money's out there. They want a piece of the pie. So now the Department of Education's involved in that. Last I checked, they weren't student athletes no more. Why are you involved, Department of Ed? So it's all fucking bullshit, homie.
Look, it's time for the NCAA and college football, especially college football, the college athletics to part. It's time for the revolution to just get rid of the NCAA and everything they're involved with, which includes Title IX. I don't know how that works, but it's time. I will say this, you're never going to stop stupid people from making bad decisions. So this, I know that you're talking about a more broad problem rather than just the problem right now. I get it. And you're right. I mean, this is an issue that's systemic, and it seems to be getting worse, and people make bad decisions, and they have something to fall back on now with a ton of evidence on why it's a bad idea. But you also can't limit earning potential, and there are a lot of kids out there that are doing it right.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of fucking guys out here that are doing it wrong. So
Matt, great point.
It's also the natural, like, you know, I hate to say this, but this is the truth. This is the natural Darwinism of football and like decision making. Guys that make it and guys that don't. There's as many guys that make off the field decisions that cost them their careers and futures as there are guys who make on-field decisions and it costs them their career. Very rarely does an injury just cost you your career. You can usually come back. It's the ones that pile up, right? But there's one circumstance off the field where you make a bad decision and your career's over. So, you know, it's I wish that guys would listen more. I wish that they would just pay attention more, because you don't have to fuck up to learn. Like, you can just watch everybody else. They're doing it at a monumental level of just fucking up everywhere. And I hope this kid wasn't high or drunk. And look, if it was just a innocent accident, then I guess that's the best case scenario. And I'm glad he's not dead.
Right.
So, you know, it's terrible, but we'll see if he was also, no one knows. You can speculate, but no one knows if he was high or drunk. He was 2:45 in the morning, and he was racing a fucking jet with 4 tires.
I wouldn't be shocked if he's doing this either.
Well, he might have been. I mean, I hope not. Going a little fast for phone time.
I'm just telling you. I guarantee you, these motherfuckers, they don't get off their phones. So why would I expect them not to be on their phone at 2:45 going 80? It doesn't matter. They don't matter what time or what speed they're going. Here's the thing, though, Matt. I want to ask you something. I got to ask you this to that point, Smitty, too. They don't fear no one anymore. They don't not, and I don't mean fear in a physical manner. I don't mean my kids feared me for one reason: letting me down. Not scaring me. I wasn't gonna go in there and beat your ass.
I am your father.
They feared me, Matt, because I gave them my shirt off my back and I did everything for them motherfuckers that nobody else saw. Right? I got them out of jail at 3 a.m. I got their girl the shot, and I got the day after pill and all that shit, right?
Jesus
morning
Christ.
after.
Yeah. What else you did?
You got some shit. You got some guys doing some shit where you're playing.
Yeah, that's fucking JUCO, bro.
And I gave them rubbers at midnight, and I fed them and I clothed them.
Yeah.
And
So Matt, like, they don't fear that no more. They definitely don't fear Brian Kelly, because you're not even fearing Kirby Smart anymore. Looking at how many fucking issues are happening at Georgia. LSU has just as many. They don't care about this guy faking his voice anymore. They they don't have any fear to let this guy down, because the money, Matt, the money that they're getting from multiple schools offers, right? Let's just talk collectives. Or Colorado's offering you this, TCU's offering them this, Georgia offers them this. If they have multiple opportunities, and how hard would it be to say, Coach Kelly, I don't give a fuck what you say. I can go to TCU, get the same amount of money.
Well, then, that's what's happening.
That's what's ruining this thing, man, to me.
I mean, it's until somebody puts a rule, just one rule. Like, this is the total Wild West, bro. There's no rules. You can do whatever you want. You can leave whenever you want. There's no loyalty. Everyone's a mercenary, coaches and players. You hope that you can get into a room where you like at least are on a good team so you can go to the league. But there's no more like, I want to go to this place to play for this place and have a fucking foundation and loyalty and all that's out the door. And you know what? I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, the ability to get rid of turds when you don't like them as a coach is a benefit, but then at the same time, the inability to coach guys hard and keep them accountable and take a kid who doesn't really get it to the next level because all he needs to do is mature and then he realizes you're actually on his side, like that is another part of it. You can't do that anymore either. So look, as a guy I just interviewed with Coach Prime the other day and up at CU and had a great conversation. It was awesome. We talked about it. Thinking about all the different things and job titles and what you can do in college, what you can't do, and have just the rigors of it, bro. It's a different animal, and you got to be able to have relationships with people that you don't know, and everybody's got to trust each other, and it's like immediate trust because there's no more growing and getting to know each other. It's you immediately need to trust each other, and that's tough. It's hard to just immediately trust people that you don't know, so you got to build that. And when you don't have any adversity or like you're just throwing together teams semester by semester by semester, it makes it hard in a lot of places. So, college coaching these days is I don't think there's a lot of coaching going on. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, it's not about coaching. It's about keeping guys happy and making sure the 5-star recruit in the room doesn't piss his pants and transfer, and then you lose your job because the coach thinks it's your fault. Yeah. When in actuality, the kid's just a shitbird. So,
coaches are just trying to keep their job, whoever they can keep their job, and they need good players to keep their job because that's how they win. Players know that they have all this leverage and power now because they have access to just so much money, and these collectors don't give a fuck. They don't care what you did at this school. If they think you can help their program out, they'll offer you the same money or more for you to transfer. Players know that.
Real.
Everywhere. It's everything.
Money amplifies.
Yep.
So if you're a good person and you do things right and you get paid, it's only going to amplify what you do and who you are. If you're a turd and you don't fucking earn it and you just get paid because you're big or strong or whatever, some asshole ranked stars on you higher than another kid, then that's going to amplify you being a big, lazy piece of shit. You're probably going to eat your way out of your opportunity or drive drunk or fucking, make a stupid decision. Yeah. So it's about education. And again, I don't know if they have coaches, the ability or the desire to educate anymore. Everybody's trying to advance. You know what I'm saying? Every coach is trying to advance at a monumental level, and every player now is trying to advance at a monumental level. And sometimes, if not all the time, in my opinion, the process is the prize, guys. The process is the fucking prize. Mm-hmm. And if you're failing the process because you're always chasing the bag, sometimes you're like a lot of the times you're not going to end up with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to fucking really grind in this game to get what you want, man. It's not about just showing up and getting paid. Earn that motherfucker.
And one rule would change. To your point, you said that they need to make a rule. To me, literally one rule. Go back to the way the transfer used to be. You could transfer one time and you got to sit out. I guarantee if you just put that one rule in place, it changes everything.
Stop a turn.
Players can't really think it through. Do I want to sit out? If I do leave, I only have one opportunity.
Yep.
Now
I can't play.
They have to stay around and earn that money. It changes everything. One rule.
Yep.
Here's the issue though. We gotta start talking about facts, and the facts are we got coaches and players now under one roof, dick measuring each other.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We don't have any cohesiveness anymore. It is not a team no more. It's a bunch of eyes brought in semester by semester, and now coaches are trying to look for a bag. Players are trying to go get a bag, and now there is no it's all about us, not about me mentality. And I'm going to be honest, when we took hierarchy out of this thing, which has always been something in society, military, parenting, CEO, manager, clerk, It's always been it's been owner, GM, head coach, player. It's never been player, coach this way, the same. And I listen, I know we disagree on a lot of this stuff right here, but we got to stop comparing the kids to these grown folks, man. The guys that have done this for 40 years. Because I got to be honest, and I know Smitty doesn't agree and you don't agree on some of the stuff I say, but I got to be honest. Matt, you and I were GAs. We were interns. We were analysts. We were coordinators, position coaches, then head coaches. These kids are 17 to 21, getting a bag of money, but yet have not proven anything to anyone and never have taken the steps besides being God-touched, gifted by the gods that they have a great amount of talent. And you know damn well, there ain't nothing worse on this planet than a waste of talent. And we're paying these dudes to be equals now with people who have gone through this profession from the bottom getting coffee to the top and have paid for their kids' college and mortgage payments and done all the things that grown folks have earned the right to do because they've deserved it. Now, these kids have yet to earn shit, and we're putting them on an equal playing field, and I don't know why people don't understand. We cannot survive this way. It's just not meant to be. If you do this way and think it's going to be sustainable or successful, you're fooling yourself, because if kids at 17 are told, hey, dog, you're equal with Coach Saban. You're getting the same amount of money, so guess what? You can do whatever the fuck you want. You miss class. You miss practice. Like, what do you have to hold over the motherfucker? Like, nothing. And the degrees don't mean shit, Matt. These cats are going to 4 schools in 4 years. They don't give a fuck where the diploma comes from. And why do we have the Department of Education involved in today in Title IX? It's a fucking mockery. This whole thing's thrown at the wall and see how much shit can stick. And we'll just roll with it.
Well, guys, though, and I'm asking you guys, because Matt's like still heavily involved, obviously, with this, with this business 0 to 16 training kids, and obviously you're always gonna have your hands involved as well. So you guys will know more than me. Are we? What am I asking? How many kids are actually of that top tier to where they're actually getting paid big time dollars? Because to my knowledge, there's a majority of the kids still not really making a lot of money, meaning that a majority of the kids aren't the guys that we're talking about right now. I feel like it's still a small group of guys.
We're talking like most kids are making minimum dollars, and they don't have fucking money. They only have. There's some idiots that get broke off and make bad decisions. True.
Yeah.
But look, I will say this: I would have loved to gotten paid when I was in college, or revenue split or something, because that was earning potential. And I was at Colorado and we were pretty good, and we were winning championships and putting guys into the league, and it would have been nice to get paid. That's why we do this. Number two, I don't look at this generation the same as you do. We've talked about this many times. Yes, there's bad guys in every generation. There's just turds, and that's what it is. There were turds when we grew up. There were turds before us. It's amplified now because every turd now has a portal to the world in their pocket, and turds will be turds. But I will say this. I had 30 kids in this morning at 5 a.m., some of the best players in the state of Colorado, all young guys, and a bunch of guys with multiple offers. And, we had tons of eyes on them this morning, if you get my drift. Yeah. So, it was extremely competitive. They were working. Just let me finish. They were working their asses off. So the guys that are offered in that room, if they're offered the opportunity to get paid, I'm with that shit. Like, I want them to get their fucking money. That's why we do this. Just because they're young doesn't mean they shouldn't get paid. If anything, that's when your earning potential is the highest based on potential, which is what this game's based on. So it's my job as their coach, and it's their parents' jobs, and it's the kids' job to teach them about the pitfalls and the rigors of the world and what it is, and make sure that they understand the importance of fiscal responsibility and not being a fucking idiot with your money and not driving drunk and not fucking being a dopehead and earning this opportunity and understanding the difference between the bag now that you think you're getting paid. This fucking minimum money is dog shit as opposed to going in the first round of the NFL draft, which if you're getting talked about like this and offered this kind of money now as a high school kid, potentially going into college, and then what could you get in college and all that responsibility that comes with your stars and your grade and how they pay you. all that is minimal compared to what you could get in the NFL. And if they're talking about like that with you now, then you're a first, second round draft pick and you can go get real money, generational wealth. So it's our job to educate them, not just sit here and judge them because they make bad decisions. I made tons of bad decisions when I was a youngster, bro. I got kicked out of school. I got arrested multiple times, fighting and drinking and acting like a fucking idiot. And I still got to go live my dream, but all of that, it hurt me. I didn't get drafted because of it, things of that nature. It definitely they looked at my character, which hurt my feelings pretty bad, not going to lie. I wish I had somebody that would have grabbed me by the scruff of my neck and straightened me out sooner, but it was my responsibility to listen also. So, you know, it's important that a lot of these kids, like not all of them are shitbirds, but again, the shitbirds are never more apparent because of the portal in their pocket. So it's a double-edged sword here, bro.
I want to be clear. I'm not even discussing the shitbird part of it. I'm discussing the allowability to be a shitbird and have no accountability held over you. You can speak and talk to them until you're blue in the face and educate them about financial ramifications and how to use your money and all that shit. But guess what? The difference between you and I are the difference between us and these guys. We were told this thing and we got educated and it stuck with us because if we didn't do what we were educated on, there was a ramification and it fucking cost us because there was a hierarchy. When there's no hierarchy, you and I can speak all day till we're blue and educate all we want. But they still are doing what we're saying they shouldn't be doing because
that doesn't happen with me and my guys at all ever. I don't know why you would assume that would happen with yours. I mean, that's the way your guys acted when you coached.
No, I'm saying that's what's happening in general, Matt. Like, you don't think Brian Kelly's saying this stuff to the kid that just wrecked his fucking car?
I bet you the majority of the guys at LSU understand the hierarchy of the coach-player system and do a good job and work hard, and there's some that are just pieces of shit. I mean, I'm not going to – I'm just saying, like, I don't see that from all the guys I coach and everybody I work with. I don't see that part of it, bro. I don't agree.
But I'm saying we're seeing it on a broad scale every day. We can't deny the fact that what's happening out here. We're seeing it at major programs like Georgia and LSU. Like, if you're doing it there, Matt, you're going to do it at fucking UC Davis.
Well,
like these kids.
There's also a lot of people doing it right at Georgia and LSU.
I agree. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that
like Kirby Smart doesn't have hierarchy. Kirby Smart's like the hardcore coach of the SEC. He fucking got those kids under his thumb.
But it's not the hierarchy of the coach. It's the hierarchy of the system of what I'm discussing. If they can transfer 4 times because Coach Kirby Smart cusses their asses out, then when does it stop? I can leave Matt McChesney because he cusses me out, and I don't want to get cussed out, and I want to be held accountable.
What happened to addition by subtraction and addition being the same thing? Because that's a fact. If you leave because I coach you hard, leave. Like that. My college coach would have loved this because he always used to say, "I can't wait to get to the NFL." Chris Wilson, who won a Super Bowl with the Eagles as their D-line coach against the Patriots. So got to the NFL and started doing it. I love it. Coach Wilson also used to say, I can't wait to get to the NFL where if you fuck up or act like a piece of shit, I can just cut your ass and go get somebody else. And now in college football, if you want to be a fuckboy or you don't want to work hard or you don't want to do the standards set by the coaches who still have the authority, if they're any kind of coach or man, right. I'm not going to let some fucking kid come in and act like they can run shit regardless of what fucking right they think they have to make money. That's the way I will run shit at least. It's on the fucking adults here to set the tone. Like, just because the kid has the right to make money and leave, if he thinks that the grass is greener out there and there's more money for him out there and he's fucking better off and he doesn't need to listen to me and all the experience I have, then kick rocks, motherfucker. Next, opportunities rolling around here like you ain't special. Even a five-star kid ain't special.
I feel like real men and real leaders still demand respect. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's still something out there. Now it's different. We
gotta be honest though. We gotta be honest, Matt. You just mentioned your kids and I mentioned my kids and all this. That's fine and dandy. There's certain guys that get through to certain people. But we cannot deny the fact there's 7,200 fucking kids in the portal.
There's 7,200 fucking guys who didn't think it out. That's their problem.
But every year it's getting worse is my point. I'm just saying every year it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
I really think you would love this, the ability to get rid of fucking guys who aren't supposed to be there. So who gives a shit? If you want to go to the portal, get rid of rocks, motherfucker, out.
But they're not getting rid of them. These kids are entering voluntarily.
Well, there's also coaches that tell them they don't want to be there and they should leave. That does happen. But there are a lot. Look, there's a lot of kids that graduate and have a plan. I know this because I set them up with NIL deals, and they go and transfer, and it happens like this, and you never even knew they were in the portal because tampering's not really a thing. You can do whatever you want behind the scenes. I know this because they call me and ask about the players and how I can tamper with them to get the guy to go here. It's fucking crazy, but it is what it is. There's no rules, so. What I'm saying is there's one way to transfer and go do it correctly, and then there's my feelings got hurt transfer. But why is that a bad thing, everyone? Like, why is it such a bad thing that there's 7,200 kids in the portal? Who gives a shit? College football isn't supposed to just be a free ride for free school seekers that can't play. Like,
it is a free ride.
If you aren't happy and you want to leave for the transfer portal and you think it's greener, leave. Like, why do we give a shit about all the losers in the transfer portal that can't find a job? I'm sorry your feelings were hurt and your coach fucking yelled at you too much and you couldn't handle it, or whatever excuse they want to throw out there, or whatever happened. I'm sorry if it was legitimate, but at the same time, you made that choice, and now you're sitting there hoping for an opportunity when you had one already. So I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for him anymore. I can't believe you do.
No, here's the reason. I'm always player first, and this is the reason why.
I'm super player first, but fuck them if they don't want the goddamn bag.
I get it. I get it, but here's the reason. Like, D. Jones never has coached, obviously, because he's like, well, JB, how many kids aren't in the portal? How many kids don't have AIDS? You fucking idiot. Shut up, D. Jones.
There are a lot of kids. How many kids? I agree with him. There's a ton of kids doing it right.
What they don't see, though, is the macro scale of this. There's 7,200 kids in the portal. There's 134 Division I playing schools. If I care for the kids, as the coaches supposedly say they do, then there's a fundamental issue because 1% of these kids, Matt, go out of the portal and get scooped up. Not 99% of them. 99% of them are stuck in a portal, and then they become what we call in the business other people's trash.
Okay, so why is that a problem? Because the coaches are supposed to play Captain Save-A-Ho?
No, that's my point. Like, when do we say, all right, I'm not taking your trash, Alabama. I'm not taking your trash, Ball State.
That's why they're sitting in the portal, though.
But then there is no other place no more. JUCO is becoming imploded. They're not going JUCO. They're sitting in a portal.
Just have the ability. You can go to JUCO now and play for 2 years, and it doesn't hurt your eligibility, bro. I'm sending guys to JUCO. I'm sending 5 guys to JUCO right now.
That's not official yet. That's for one kid. So I'm just being clear. That's all.
Well, that was actually it was a ruling.
That was for Pavia. That was for Pavia. The rule is not in stone for everyone yet. So okay. I'm just telling you that's the rule. No, I'm being honest. That's not okay. That hasn't.
All right, then I guess the coaches I talked to and everybody is wrong.
No. Nobody. I don't think people really clearly understand the rule. That rule was only for people that played their last year in JUCO last year.
Cool.
So now they get that year added.
I'm confused about why we're sympathetic to the plea of 7,200 guys that decided to go to the transfer portal. Who cares?
I'm not sympathetic to him at all. What I'm saying is I think that is what's watering
down.
Get out
of the portal. Go play at a lower level. Go to JUCO. There's ways to do this where we don't have to sit here and feel sorry for them. Who gives a shit?
Here's the problem, though. Like, we're paying for their education $300,000 scholarship. But yet they still want more money. They want a bag, and they're in a portal, by the way, Matt. They're in a portal that's being covered by educational expenses are being covered while they're in the portal.
No, not every single kid's a fucking piece of shit that's going to go in the transfer portal. They deserve their scholarship. You know you would have liked to gotten paid in college. Come on, dog. You're a guy that did it right.
No, I'm not saying that.
Would you like to get paid?
No, I'm not saying that.
It would have been nice. What the fuck?
I was happy for my FAFSA, and then
there were so many kids doing it right, bro.
I got a cost of attendance check. I was of that.
Look. I'm confused on why your defending the 7,200. That's their choice. They win in the transfer
at all. I am not defending the 7,200.
Lower level and go to JUCO if you want to play. There's opportunity out there everywhere. You got to find it.
That's my point again. You can say it till you're blue in the face. They're not doing it. They're in the portal, bro. There's 1%.
How many fucking college football players are there? What's the percentages there? Because it's not high.
No, what I'm saying is only 1% of those kids are going to another four-year institution out of the 7.
They made a bad decision. Why the fuck do I have to sit here and feel sorry for them?
Okay, I think you guys got me misunderstood. I don't give a fuck about the 7,200. What I'm telling you is, overall, we're sitting here going to be able to speak to these kids until we're blue in the face. They're not going to do it, is my point. They're not leaving the portal, and eventually you're going to run out of your organic recruiting material, which is what? High school kids and JUCO. Portal. But Matt, the portal is
40 fucking guys in my gym this morning at 5 a.m. and all of them are college football players. The organic material is right in front of you. There are more players than ever. Like there's no. I don't think that the transfer portal has that much of a fucking bearing on the future of college football.
No. High school is being under recruited. It's a fact.
Well, that may be a case where that's true, but that at the same time, the good players are still getting recruited.
No, of course.
They don't extend opportunity to 5 guys who shouldn't be there anyway.
Yeah, we keep talking minority though. We're not thinking macro scale here. Like high school overall, there's fucking 10,000 high schools that play 11-man football, Matt. You're talking about your 40 guys. You keep talking about your 40 guys. There's a million football players in high school.
Bro, they should find a way to get to college football then. In the information age, ignorance is a choice. If everybody wants to sit around and be like, oh well, I can't find opportunity because of this, or that. That sounds like excuses to me. Pick up your phone and start making phone calls and do your job, and you'll find opportunity. Go to JUCO. Go to one high school. Go deep. Yeah, they are.
Point is,
I see kids all over the country all the time. Yes, from my perspective, guys are going to play at the best opportunity at the highest level they can. And JUCOs are still playing football, and 1AA and D2 are still prosperous. The 1AA title game was sold out with a bunch of great players on the field, and football's healthy. Like the 7,200 guys in the portal, that sucks for you. I'm sorry that you don't have a job. You should go find yourself an opportunity or make a better decision next time before you decide to jump in the transfer portal without playing.
Quick question. Of the 7,200 guys that enter the portal, like, just because you enter the portal doesn't mean you necessarily always leave, right? Like I'm saying, like I'm asking a question. Like if you enter the portal, are there scenarios where you enter the portal but you end up just still staying where you at because of whatever happened? Like
that does happen,
yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to understand is how many players are truly leaving their team, what's the truth? Because for example, didn't Michigan have a ton of guys who came back this year? Colorado had a ton of guys who came back this year. I'm still seeing a lot of familiar faces on certain teams year in and year out. So sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it feels like the either the numbers or the conversation is a little bit overblown in terms of how many players are truly leaving their teams every single year.
I think there's a lot leaving, but I also think there's a lot staying. It's a hard metric.
Yeah, it
is. It's a tough one. So, look, I'm not saying the transfer portal is a good thing if you've earned the right to transfer, in my opinion. But I'm not going to sit here and limit people either. Like, if you can make money at 18, go make it.
For example,
there was bad decisions. I don't see how that's on us if they make bad decisions.
There was a Ball State kid, was a tight end. I can't remember his name, but he had a really amazing year last year for Ball State. Obviously, we're in the MAC, small school. This all season, he got some notoriety, entered the transfer portal. Now he's gonna be at Wisconsin.
There you go. I love it. That's awesome.
That makes perfect sense.
That's fucking awesome, bro. Exactly. South Dakota State's quarterback went and played in the title game. I'm pretty sure. Did they win? No, North Dakota State won. They were in the Final Four. But Iowa loved him. Gave him a fucking nice little deal. Now he's at Iowa. That sounds fucking awesome to me. That's progression.
There's a ton of those stories that are beautiful.
Those are awesome, and that happens all the time. My boy Drake Nugent went to Stanford for 3 years, got his degree, went into the transfer portal, went to Michigan the next day, won a national title, just finished his first year with the 49ers, home working. That is the process working for the player. So I don't agree that it's all bad. I'm not sympathetic to the 7,200 either. That's the Darwinism of football. Like, have a plan, dog. Don't go in the transfer portal hoping and wishing for someone to pick you up. You're not as good as you think you are, but you're also not as bad. So, I'm not saying that it's perfect, but fuck, man, at least the guys can get paid now.
I hear you. I just think we're setting these kids up for failure in the long run, man. Because I know that there's soldiers on the front line that they can't take a week off because they got fucking issue. They got to stay out there. I mean, we got kids leaving now because you're being paid, Matt. I think you agree. If you're being paid, you're now
you should do your job. Yeah,
do your fucking job. Like frontline soldiers aren't taking a week off. Oh, I need to take a week off. Fucking don't shoot this week.
Where's the kid taking a week off? Like, I must have missed this story.
Yeah, I did a rant yesterday. A&M kid, fucking that was at Texas Tech, demanded a fucking bag, and now he's taking a fucking week off because he needs it personally. Get the fuck out of here. I'm so fucking over this shit. That's why
they should cut him.
Exactly, cut him and take his fucking money. Like not pay you is the thing. I
totally
keep going.
Agree. Cut him and take his money and say we're not interested in this kind of attitude here. That's not the way people get paid at whatever school he's trying to transfer to. The kid that did Washington, Texas. I do the same thing with him. You ain't good enough for this. You're not special. You're cut or you're fined. Whatever it is. This kid shouldn't get a bag. This kid should get a belt across the ass for acting like a child. I mean, what are we talking about? Fucking ridiculous.
I got to be honest. The other bad rule is the early grad. If you're an early grad commitment and you sign a scholarship to go to school A and you practice with them because they were fortunate to be good and they're in the college football playoff and you go through practice for a week and then decide after you saw practice, I'm not good enough here. I'm leaving and going to Cal. We are setting a bad precedent to teach kids, hey man, it ain't that easy in real life. You're not going to be able to go to the top. I mean, I'm just saying, man, it's unbelievable. Early grad used to be what's the word, Matt?
Like
you and I, a privilege. That's the word I was looking for. It was a privilege, not a right. Now it's a fucking right. It's like a right now to go to fucking Oregon, and then you're going to go to your rival Cal in the same week?
When I place players, I'm talking, there's like 3 or 4 kids that are going to be seniors that we're setting up for early grad and early enrollment. And I tell them this is such an advantage that you get to go practice with the bowl. You get to go in and you have the entire fucking off season. You get to start in winter conditioning, and then you have fucking spring ball, and then you have the summer classes and summer get down. And when the other guys get there in August, you've been there for 6 months and you're already acclimated in with the older guys, and you're a vet and they don't even know. And it sets you up for success. So the guys who are smart, who have good people behind them, will make good decisions. And the guys who just go there and they're like, well, they didn't play me in practice. Again, as a coach, I don't want that motherfucker anyway. So at least we found out that he was a bitch. I mean, let's be real, dog. As a coach, if I'm recruiting you and I don't know for certain that when you get to where I recruited you, that you're not going to work hard and you're not going to be the guy I thought you were the whole time I was recruiting you, and the money I'm giving you and the opportunity, all of a sudden that's not good enough, bro, you're gone. And honestly, that's on the coach too, because you didn't vet this kid better than this. So you let stars blind you and from all the red flags. I'm sorry, but star ratings and the way these kids get paid, sometimes it's on the coaches too. They make bad decisions. Like, make better decisions with how you spend your money and what you look for in the character of your players and things of that nature if you expect them to come in and make good decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just put this all – it's not all on one thing. It's just a variety of different shit sandwiches that have to be eaten. But overall, I think the product is pretty strong, and I'm glad kids get paid. And I think it's an opportunity for education and almost like a chance to rehab the system rather than just thinking the system's totally fucked and we're all like going down the shithole together and college football's screwed. College football looks pretty goddamn healthy to me. Man, they're printing fucking money. They'll figure all this out. A lot of it goes back to what we talked about when we started the show, which is getting rid of the NCAA and the fucking hypocrisy there and all their dumbass fucking rules. And like, when I listen to coaches say, even in the meeting we had on Tuesday with Coach Prime up there in Boulder, like, we got to make sure that everything lines up with the NCAA and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there like, what kind of oversight do these people really have? It's crazy to me. Like, think about like the NFL having an oversight committee that just randomly comes in and just finds you and suspends players for like random crazy shit that doesn't make sense. That's essentially what the NCAA is now. It's you can do anything you want, you can tamper, you can pay for anything you can't, but you can't like have a coach at a fucking signing event, or you can't like meet a coach at a restaurant, but you can get paid $150,000. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's stupid. So the NCAA is awful.
I'm with you on all that shit, and it's been that way forever. They've been the judge, jury, and executioner since we've been little kids. That's just is what it was. Here's the issue.
Time for a split, dog. It's time to get away from these people.
I'm old school. You can print money hand over fist and all that shit, and we can say it's thriving in that regard, and TV contracts and endorsements and collectives and all this money. That's fine. I'm just old school. The root of the evil is still money, though. And I still see a drop in product on the football field as my two eyes. That's just my opinion. I still think the root of all evil will eventually catch up with you. You can make all the money, and I'm all for the kids getting paid and all that old shit. I just think there's a way about it, and that's the way about it right now is what I think will be the end of what we know. And I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Matt, enjoy your show today. Appreciate you coming on, as always, with the insight. Go follow Matt and Bailey today on 0 to 60 Pod. And enjoy.
Good talk, boys.
Hell yeah! Enjoy the weekend.
Who you taking, Smitty? Who you taking in the games and the national? Well, the national title we'll do Monday. Who you taking on the divisional?
Yeah, I got
He's taking all the black quarterbacks to win.
Yeah, I got Ravens over Bills. I want to go Commanders over Lions because my brother plays for the Commanders, so I'm gonna just say that. It's gonna be a tough one though.
Like your real brother plays for the Commanders?
Not my blood, but
like your brother.
You know how it is. Yeah, we go way back. Since we're 9 years old. Yeah.
Black people say it. It's just
it's like 9 years old.
I say that shit too.
You got me, Matt.
I say that shit too. It's okay. I just was wondering. I'm sorry.
The Chiefs over the Texans, and then I actually got the upset. Me and JB agree on that. I got the Rams over the Eagles.
You are taking all the black quarterbacks.
No, Rams over Eagles.
Nice. Never mind.
Stafford.
God, Stafford is so good these days. How about you, Coach?
I'm taking Rams, obviously. I'm taking Lions in a tight one. I'm taking Lions in a shootout, by the way. I think Jaden Daniels throws for like 3 or 4 touchdowns, but it'll be too much because they just don't have the defense. I'm taking Buffalo, man. I think Buffalo's going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl this year. And then, you know what, man? I'm going to do. I got to stay to my true guard. I got to stay. Well, the only reason why you will respect it, Matt. You'll respect it. I picked the Chargers to beat the Texans and then beat the Chiefs. And I said 6 months ago that the Chiefs were going to be great all season, but going to lose their first playoff game. And I got to stick with it. I just think they're.
Take it. So you're taking Houston. Houston and Buffalo for the AFC title, and then I guess what would it be? Washington going to LA? That's for you?
No, I got Lions.
You got the Lions, so you'll have the Stafford Bowl in Detroit. That would be fun.
Again, three years in a row. Yeah.
Didn't Stafford they played last year in the first round.
Close game. Yep. Close game. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna take Baltimore because I think this is Lamar Jackson's year. I'm gonna take Washington over the Lions because I think Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels is going to go off. He's having a special year, and there's just something about Detroit. Their defense is so banged up, but I think next year is their year, not this year. I think this year is a pain year, and that's okay. Sometimes you got to go through it. I could be wrong, but I think Washington will show out. I'm taking the Chiefs, unfortunately, because you got to play against the refs too in Arrowhead, and I'm going to take the Rams on the road. So I think you got Washington going to LA for the title, and then you got Baltimore going to Kansas City in the AFC.
Oh, me and Matt are a line. See, we are a line. JB, for the sake of our show, I hope you're right though about the Chiefs and Texans because I know that Monday show is going to be insane.
Oh, bro, if the Chiefs lose to the Texans, I will be so happy.
We all.
Oh, bro. Now who do I? Okay, now that's who I think will win. Who do I want to win?
Yeah.
I want Houston to beat Kansas City's ass.
Me too.
I would love to see Buffalo win, but I just think Baltimore's too much because they're going to control the fucking line of scrimmage the way the Buffalo Bills did last week to the Broncos. And I think Detroit probably will beat Washington, but I'd love to see the Commanders win, so I'm just going to roll with that. And I think that Philly-LA game is going to be a dogfight. I really do. And Stafford's just lacing the ball right now, but don't be surprised if the Eagles just line up and run the ball fucking 60 times and Saquon goes for 200. Like, their offensive line is so good. If their defense plays 2 or 3 turnovers good, like, they're probably going to win, and Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do a lot but make a couple of throws. So, I don't know, man. There's some good teams, and I think the games are going to be awesome, whereas the games last week were fucking dog shit. They were all blowouts other than the Commander game, of course. So, we'll see. And then Monday, that national title game has the potential to be a real fucking snoozer, too. But let's hope Notre Dame shows up.
Imagine Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl.
That fucking game would be crazy. The battle for the crab cake.
The whole hood would be out. I ain't gonna lie to you.
How far away is Baltimore from DC?
It's like 40 minutes, I think. If I'm not
It's
mistaken.
like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's like down the street. It ain't that far.
Yeah.
The whole deal.
That would be dope, bro. That would be fucking dope.
It'll be in New Orleans, which would be crazy too. So
the whole culture out. Kendrick performing.
But think about this too. Think about like the Chiefs going for a 3-peat. How big that would fucking be. Think about Buffalo. Think about Buffalo, Detroit. 2 franchises that are just starving for a fucking Super Bowl, and they meet in the Super Bowl. It's like, well, whoever wins, awesome, but whoever loses, the pain just continues, dog. Just in your heart, it's almost worse. Like, does everyone remember? I know everyone does. Cubs, Indians, World Series games, like went to Game 7. Both franchises haven't won in like 100 fucking years. Yeah. That's the kind of Super Bowl we could have if it lines up right, Like,
hey, I'm betting today. I'm betting $1,000 today, Matt. It's a Rams-Bills Super Bowl.
Rams-Bills would be that game during the regular season. Was fucking fire. That might be the best game.
No matter what happens, it's gonna be a good ass Super Bowl. Like, no matter how this shakes out.
Let's fucking pray to God.
Not if the Ravens are in it. Matt, we'll see you on Monday.
Why not if the Ravens are in it? What's wrong with the Ravens?
Lamar can't win a big game. We'll see you Monday. And love you to death, man.
So bad, dog.
If Lamar gets a ring this year, I'm gonna be unhinged.
All Lamar needs is 1 ring. He doesn't need 10. He needs 1.
Homie. That's it.
He's different. I just want the white quarterback. I just want whatever white quarterback. Whatever white quarterback wins. Whatever white guy wins.
Whatever white guy wins.
If the Ravens score this year, I'm going to JV's house for that show on that Monday morning. I want to be physically
Golf, Stafford, you guys got to get one of these 3 guys in there. All right, guys. Man, I'll see you later.
What is going on right now, dog?
Brace the show, homie.
Peace. Hey, we got a special guest.
Quarterbacks right now. You got Jaden Downs, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels. We outnumbered y'all, homie. We didn't took over the game, homie.
Smitty, we just talked about it yesterday, homie. DEI.
We took this shit over, homie.
Y'all have a lot of DEI in it. You got some DEI.
You wouldn't make it in football today. If you played today, you wouldn't even make it, homie.
Your skill set translate, homie. You got a lot of DEI. You got a lot of DEI hires, homie. Hey, real quick. Coach Fred wanted to hop in here real quick. Let's bring in 2 brothers who outnumber me 3-1 real quick. Go ahead. Let's bring in Fred. Let's bring in Shaun, too. Shaun and Fred, I don't know if you guys have met. Both Florida boys.
Hey, Shaun and Fred, put them up. Yeah. No, put your hand down, JB.
Oh. Hey, Fred, you want to hop in real quick and give a rant? I know you want to spin it. I know I kind of took it from you, your idea, but you texted me. Go ahead. I want to hear it because you're coaching right now in the HBCU. You get to see this thing. Maybe not at the LSU level as far as money goes, but you're seeing the same type of kid, the same generation. So I don't know where you're going, but I want to hear it.
I just want to get on and rant, but give you your kudos because you said this a while back with the car deals and things like that. Being so close to Baton Rouge, one of the big stories that here was the kid in the car wreck, right? And I think JB this on the show weeks ago about these kids getting these Chargers, these Emmys, these Hellcats, and this is their first car. And they just don't know how to handle those big Hemi engines. And now everybody's wondering what's going on. Well, when you pull in those parking lots, and please don't take this as hate, when you pull in those parking lots and you see those Hemis, you see those Hellcats, and then you can sit there and watch after practice the track meet that's getting out of there. This is only a matter of time before this thing starts to happen. And it's something that I really feel passionate about because I lost 2 brothers a long time ago in a car accident. And anybody that I've coached will tell you my message to them before the holiday, before they get out in front of us spring break. Hey man, seatbelts are cool. You know, seatbelts are cool. Put them on. I know Big Smitty don't like riding his because he don't know he's got a back and you know all that. But seatbelts are cool. And I think that these kids need to understand that. And some of these dealerships that are dealing in this NIL need to at least give these kids a safety, something on it, man. Just because if I'm the dealership that gave this kid the car, if I'm the dealership that gave this kid the car that was in the wreck that left, who's possibly ruined his chances at an NFL career, flying in the same type of car, I would feel bad. That would be on my conscience that I gave these kids these cars and did not tell them, hey, man, this is a big engine. All it takes is one overcorrection, and then you're in a tree, you're in a car wreck. And, you know, we're starting to see this more. And like I said, being this close, we are an hour and a half, 2 hours from Baton Rouge. That was on every news outlet. And I just want to say that we told you guys that type of stuff was going to happen. And here we are. And then I'm glad you brought Mr. King on. St. Pete boy, Florida boy, 275.
7 in the building, baby.
I had a little rant with him a couple weeks ago, JB, when you were missing. He dismissed my level of football, him and Smitty. I let Smitty make it. They were saying that FCS football is like Little League football, and they weren't watching the FCS championship. If they just happened to not have anything else on TV, they might watch it, you know, that kind of thing.
That's what Shaun said.
And Shaun King's a legend round 275, round the Tampa, the 863. I was just disappointed, and I just let Mr. King know how disappointed I was in him for dissing FCS 1AA football, and then Smitty co-signing. Because Smitty would normally defend, you know, the play. He didn't defend it that time.
I don't think I co-signed. I think at the time JB was gone, so I was just asking the question, letting our guests respond. I just sat back. I didn't want to argue with Shaun that day.
So,
hey, Shaun, before you comment, Shaun, on that real quick, I just gotta add. Ooh, he got gear on his NIL deal. Shaun could have put an NIL deal on. Hey, before Shaun comments on that FCS stuff, I gotta ask you, Fred. This is my point to Matt and Smitty earlier. It's the macro level of thinking is if we're not demanding these kids to be safe because we just can't demand them because they'll leave, then there's no hierarchy. This thing's going to get out of hand, man. We saw it with the Jalen Carter deal and the death that happened, unfortunately, in the speed race. We've seen it over and over and over with these young kids. If I'm the head coach at any school right now, if I took a job tomorrow, I'm doing a fucking driver's ed class as a team in a shit car, and you gotta meet these amount of hours in this car before you ever get in that car. And I'm just telling you, it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
Well, to me, the car is a side effect. It's not the actual problem. If you got a cold, to get rid of the cold, you got to attack what's creating the cold. And the problem with the whole NIL culture is it awards something before it's actually earned. NIL is supposed to be you generate money based on your name, image, likeness, and then get a percentage of what you generated. They're giving out the reward before the actual production. And that's what's creating this mentality that exists with all of these kids.
Hell yeah, I've been saying it. I've been saying this shit, man. Smitty, I've been saying this shit. You cannot $8 million to a high school kid. Now you got to go expect them to beat Alabama?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, Coach.
I blame the
Hey,
system.
Coach.
I don't blame the kid.
Hold on, Smitty. We're not gonna let Coach come on here and think he could just attack us softly and get away with the shit.
Right.
It's not our fault that ESPN don't promote the LCS championship like they promote the college football championship. They put it on an off-brand channel on an off-brand night. They send the 10th broadcast team to call the game, and then you want me to get excited about something that they not excited about.
Not so
Don't
fast.
attack the viewer.
Not so fast, my friend. The Celebration Bowl and the FCS National Championship outviewed every bowl game except, and not counting the playoffs, every bowl game except for 2.
And you know what? Every bowl game except the football playoff bowl games, you know what I do? They be on the TV be on mute.
So you're saying don't feel like it's an attack. He did this to all the bowl games.
Hey, Fred, man.
Shout out to Alcorn State, though.
Yeah, for sure. Because Fred got everything. He got the hat, the hoodie. He got his promo code.
Hey,
he got some money.
Hey, me and Smith about to get that transfer portal in a second, boy.
Keep playing around with it. Keep playing around with us.
Hey, Shaun, I stopped giving it to black folks because I gave all that shit to Smitty. He don't wear it. So I'm like, well, fuck it. That's how you gonna treat the white dude? Fuck it.
No, I wore it in the studio, and then we made some changes, and JB took all the stuff.
I didn't take shit.
Hey, we gotta hit on Whitlock and Steve Kim, man, and see what kind of deal we can get over there, man. Because JB's slacking. The goddamn gift bag ain't looking like it used to look, man.
Hey, I'm playing. Hey, real shit though. Hey, I'm playing Meteor. I'm playing. What do you call it?
Mediator between Cam Newton, Steve Kim, and Whitlock. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to mediate Newton and Cam and Whitlock, but I'm mediating Steve because Steve liked Cam, but he go on Whitlock, and then now Cam hit me up like, "What's up with this Cam, man? Why you on it?" I'm like, "Hey, cool,
man,
dog."
Hey, can I speak to that? Because I normally stay out of other people's business, but I want to speak to this. Hey, man, as brothers, we got to stop this black on black crime. It ain't enough of us in this industry that got a real voice on a big platform. Listen, if you a broadcaster, don't think so much of yourself that somebody else can't have an opposing view of your opinion and can't openly give reasons why they disagree with how you feel. Like, that's not an attack. Like, so I don't even know what Whitlock and Cam is into. Cam, like, if Whitlock feel this way about the Joy Taylor situation, Cam, he was there. He feels like it cost him his job. He got every right to be salty. Cam, I think too much of you for you to go on air and tell another man you ain't that guy. Like, that ain't your decision to make, Cam. Like, let Whitlock give his opinion because he was there. He was involved. That's like Whitlock trying to tell you how to feel about something that happened in Carolina with you and the Panthers.
Because Marcellus came out and did the same take.
Yeah, it hit different when you was involved with it personally.
Defend Cam, Smitty, go ahead.
I can't comment on this situation at all. I wish I could. I want to, but I can't say anything.
And to be honest, Whitlock, Cam is allowed to have a different opinion. I just didn't like when Cam was like, he's not that guy. Like, it's not for a man to tell another man the level of his sex, his sex attraction. That's for the women.
Yeah.
The women dictate that.
And we're seeing it though. Speaking of what you're saying, like you're seeing it. You know, we saw KD and Stephen A. getting into it a few years ago, and then you see all the hate from everyone because, to be honest, 90% of the players and a lot of the guys on ESPN right now, there's Ryan Clark, Cam, and Stephen A. 3 brothers. They're all on a major platform right now, speaking about 90% of brothers who play basketball and football. Let's be honest. So, like, you're going to have that confrontation, in my opinion, just outside looking in. I don't know.
And I just like to keep it sports, man. If y'all debating sports, y'all go back and forth, whatever. But all that personal stuff, man, stay off that, man.
And that's the thing. I think that was why Cam responded, and I'll leave it at that. If you just look at everything that was said with everything, I think that's why Cam responded.
And listen, it was some things, Smitty. It was some things that Jason verbalized in a way that I thought was unnecessary. But he was involved in it. It cost him his job at Fox, in his opinion. So I can
agree.
see why his energy is different.
I hear you.
For the people that don't know what he's
I know a lot too though, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
Right, I don't know nothing about it. I'm just saying from the outside looking.
Yeah. I
can understand his energy based on what he feels.
No, I was saying for the people that didn't hear how I described, I was.
What'd you say, Coach Fred? Your mic is.
Fred.
I was asking.
Everybody.
Can you hear
You
me?
cutting out.
Yeah. I hear you now.
You got me now?
Yeah.
I was asking Mr. Shaun King to, for the folks that didn't hear what Jason said, to describe her. I was asking him to go ahead and describe her the way,
No, I ain't gonna do that. I will raise better than that. I'm not gonna read. I don't repeat stuff that I don't agree with how it's said. So I'm just saying, but again, if and here's what happens, like when people don't talk stuff through. Say you have an issue with your homeboy, like something pop off, and y'all brush it under the rug instead of addressing it with each other. You know what happened? Y'all start being a product of your imagination. Because I'm looking at Smitty a certain way, Smitty looking at me a certain way. We ain't talked it out, so now our emotions, our feelings, our reactions are based on what we think is happening.
Right. That's a fact.
So I mean, that's why, man, when stuff pop off, just address it, man. Y'all can agree to disagree and move on. Don't let that stuff fester.
I had a situation with a homie a while back where like he asked me and the other homie to like, let's meet up, go out to eat, whatever. I was like, okay, bet, cool. We go out to eat. Long story short, the bill come out and dude talking about he ain't no money. So I'm like, so obviously we're at a cheap spot. I took care of it, but I went home and I was hot and I was like, damn, I was like, this is the homie. So I'm trying to be cool, but I'm like, that's weird shit. Like, it ain't about the money. It's the fact that it's almost like you set us up. It's like you asked for us to go out as if you had it. We go out to eat, you don't say nothing. So if you would have asked me straight up, hey bro, I'm in a tough spot, could you mind paying for it? That's cool, that's a good conversation. But you like, it's almost like you tricked me. So but I had, like you said to Shaun's point, I just called him, I told him, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is what it was. We kind of talked it over, nipped in the bud. We cool now. Ain't
right.
To your point, Shaun.
Hey, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna leave it like this so we can move on. But don't get it twisted. Two things undefeated: pussy and new pussy. And a lot of people talk about the pussy over the other homie because they want to hit. I'm just gonna keep it at that. So when it involves, I got a chance to hit.
Always the misunderstanding.
Guess who I'm defending? When I got a chance to hit or I want to hit, I'm gonna defend that over the homie or the guy involved that actually knows what's going on. I'm just gonna say like that.
To Shaun's point too, though, these aren't homies anyway.
Right.
If they were homies, I'm with you. They don't like each other. Well, I don't know. They not cool anyway. So
I just don't like when two.
There was no foundation of like friendship before that.
I don't like when two prominent brothers in this space be beefing back and forth publicly because it just looks bad.
I think that's a difference in age, Smitty, because back in the day, in our 3 days, I believe truly, and I could be wrong, you two correct me, the older heads in here, there was still a code, homie. It was always bros before hoes. Let's just keep it funky. And that was never a thing. Regardless if I like Shaun or not, I wasn't going to go poach at his ex or a broad I like over him. I'm just saying, nowadays, that's very, very prevalent, homie. I'm just keeping it real.
I think that's a different conversation than what we're talking about right now. I think we live in a social media space. The time frame we live in right now is way different than how y'all grew up. So, like, in terms of media and how things is operating and things are saying, it's like it's impossible to compare what y'all think y'all would have did without having this type of platform, social media.
Yeah, but I'm just not getting into it.
It was different ways of how y'all even information got passed along. Everybody has one of these
Smitty,
now.
I'm just not getting into it because of you. I'm just telling you this has 1,000% to do with what I'm saying. I'm just telling you this is what it is. There's bro code and it's not being touched on no more. We don't do it no more. We worried about the next. What can I get? What can I hit?
I can't. I mean, it's so much more I would go into as well.
Smitty. Smitty, to what you just said, I get it's a different era, but I guess, and I'll ask Coach and I'll ask, Shaun, has being a man changed from when we were growing up to when y'all are now?
That's my point, man.
No, but again, and assuming we're staying on the same topic, Are we saying that a man can't publicly call out another man on their platform because and that's not being a man? Because like
you shouldn't.
Well,
no. Let me interject here because I don't want nothing to get confused. And I'm involved with it. Because men are able to disagree. I said the part about Cam saying Whitlock's not that guy was the
that
part
particular
I
line
thought was unnecessary. That ain't for a man to say about another man. That's a female point of view and decision. It might be plenty of women out there that like Whitlock that don't like Cam.
Because we don't know what that man doing in this bedroom.
Like Whitlock, right. Yeah, that ain't for Cam to say.
Yeah. Hey, let's do a betting segment, Shaun, real quick with you guys. Fred's coaching, so I don't know if Fred can bet on it or not. But Shaun, if I'm on Bet US today, what you think about me putting a G on Bill's Super Bowl against the Rams? Lost money, crazy, or you think it's a good bet? So there's a lot of money involved in that.
I got a strong opinion in 2 games, just so I can answer the question with context. I think the Chiefs and Lions both win and cover. The thing about the Rams-Eagles game is I think the weather is going to play a big role.
5 inches
the weather's
of snow.
kind of like 50-50. If it ends up being freezing and raining, I like Philly. If the weather ends up being, more conducive to how the Rams like to play, which is throw the ball down the field, then I think the Rams got a legit shot. I got no idea in the Bills-Ravens. I'm not even going to attempt to pick that one. I just hope it ends up being the game that I think it has the potential to be, which is the 2 guys that are probably 1-2 in the MVP race going back and forth, and we see who's the last man standing.
That Florida boy.
Don't bet it,
Fred?
JB. Don't bet it, JB. Don't bet it. Don't bet that one.
He
said
don't bet it.
Fred said don't bet that one.
Don't bet that one.
Your mic tripping, Fred. I don't know what happened, Mike.
They got Cricket Mobile today. They got Cricket Mobile here on Cricket.
Fred came and attacked me and Shaun, and then
Hey, Jay. That's what happened. That's what happened when you mess with somebody's child. I'm somebody's child, Fred.
God don't play, Fred. He don't play them games. When it comes to me and Shaun, God don't play with us, Fred.
Fred got all the new gear and shit. His shit just went to shit.
Hey, can you hear me?
JB sent you some merch and took it out your audio package.
You got that JB, and JB's all negative. So when JB sends you stuff, you bring on that negativity to your household. You need to walk around with some stage, homie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got
you.
Now.
Hey, he took Fred
JB, don't bet that one.
3G.
Don't bet.
Hey, Fred, who you got?
Segment about attacking brothers.
Right. Look, see. We hypocrites, homie. We hypocrites.
Give me your picks, Fred.
I like, as much as it pains me, Kansas City, I would take the over in the Redskins-Detroit game. I like the under in the Philly Rams game. And I would prop out the Buffalo Ravens game.
Drop that out. Okay.
Huh. Interesting. Fred, man, we'll see you on Wednesday as normal, and we're going to break some film down again with you and Noel. But we'll get you on, and Smitty's going to send you a mic.
All right, Fred. Go watch that. Hey, go watch the replay of that FCS title game.
Hey, Shaun, let's get to brass tacks real quick.
I gotta be off right at 9. Just letting y'all know I got a meeting right after the show. So
no, we're gonna stay till 9:10. Shaun, real quick, Deion addressed his team, and this is heavy involved because there's a lot of rumors out there that Rick George is fighting him on NIL money and coach's salary pool of money increases and everything that coaches ask after a successful year, as they should. He's asking for, coaches' raises so we don't lose our O-line coach and our D-line coach and our strength conditioning coach every year if we're going to be successful. And he's asking for those things and other things. And there's stories out there. I don't know if they're true or not. I'm just saying the stories are out there.
Yeah.
Does that just increase the noise of Deion being a Cowboy?
No, I think it enlightens why I've never thought Deion would stay in Colorado long term. You remember, I want to say this was probably about 2000, probably 9-10, when Chrysler came out with that first 300M. And when it came up behind you, people thought it was a Rolls Royce. Like, you remember when they first changed the body sound at 300M, remember it kind of resembled
the grill,
a Rolls Royce. But
well, then they're putting, remember the hood, the cats were putting the Rolls Royce emblem and shit.
But when it got next to you, you saw, oh yeah, that's a Chrysler. That's Colorado. Colorado was so high when Deion got there, people start actually thinking they really Georgia, they really Ohio State, they really Alabama. They're not. They don't have that budget. They don't have those resources. And now Deion is finding out that he's got a Chrysler, he don't got a Rolls Royce. And it's because he finally is not just completely engulfed with the fact that he's living a dream with working with his kids. So now all the warts are starting to be exposed. Guess what? I really wanted to keep Phil Loho. That's the first time he realized, you know what? This bag not big as I thought it was. Before this, the AD had been saying what? We'll do whatever it takes to win. Right? Yeah. Now he's starting to lose some good coaches, and it's like, man, look, I know we was cool, we was Gucci, but we want to really do this year in and year out. This is what it takes. And that's just not what Colorado is. And shout out to Matt McChesney and his passion. And I know Bailey back there rolling his eyes somewhere in the background because he's Matt's little brother now. After doing the 0 to 60 podcast, check that out. If you like the Buffs, great entertaining podcast. But Colorado is the Chrysler. They're not a Rolls Royce. And Deion's finding it out now.
I hear you.
And it's nothing wrong with being a Chrysler. Nothing at all.
Hey, it gets from point A to point B.
But the problem is Deion has Rolls Royce options. Deion's not one of these college coaches that's pigeonholed. I finally found a job where they like me, I like them. Let me stay, be comfortable. If I leave, I don't know what's next. Deion's got a gazillion options outside of Colorado.
That's a hell of a take. I think that's one of your all-time takes on the show, in my opinion. I love that take. We should clip that off Paris. We should post that on Twitter, TikTok before they shut down and everything else. To that point, though, I'm with you. I mean, listen, I always thought, and I still think that Deion's going to stay. But I think there's two opportunities that will make him leave Colorado. One, obviously, the ability to coach his sons, plural, at the next level, whatever team that is. That's number one. Number two, the ability to be head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Because I think any coach in America, I don't care where you're at, college, you could be at Oregon, Dan Lanning, you could be at Ohio State. If you got the opportunity to coach the Dallas Cowboys at the start, the number one biggest, sports franchise basically in the country, in the world, you're going to take that opportunity. So I do think those are the two opportunities. I don't see Deion leaving to go coach at like Florida or to go coach at Florida State. I personally don't. I think those two opportunities are the only two that will make him be like, you know what, I'm leaving, I'm out. Because I do think he enjoys kind of teaching and nurturing these young men into grown men, and I believe he does have a full scope of power at Colorado because they're not a powerhouse and because they've seen how the impact that Deion has done in the short time that he's been there. So I think he enjoys having the power. He enjoys being able to teach these young kids. So I think it's going to take some grand opportunity for him to leave, which is what we're hearing right now with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I got to get your take, Shaun, on this. We already talked about the LSU kid in the car situation. We all get it.
Yeah.
I did a rant yesterday on this Texas Tech kid leaving to take a week off because he just feels like he has to have a week off or some shit like that. I'm just so sick of all this shit. Like,
do we got details on that? Like, is there any do we have any information of like? Again, I know you don't care, but I'm saying like, did something happen in the family? Did he lose his parents? Did something wild happen? I know you don't care, but I'm saying that at least gives some context of like, okay, maybe there's a reason why.
Remember, we got to stop defending before we know, and we got to stop
asking the question.
No. I'm speaking for you too.
Yeah.
We got to stop judging before we know as well. To your offense. But here's the issue: this cat has stacked up goods already. He already has a track record because this is the kid. By the way, I had no clue, Bailey. Bailey, come in here. Did I have a clue who this kid was? And did we already talk about this kid before, Bailey?
Micah Hudson, the time we talked about him, if you remember, he had NIL demands or alleged NIL demands on Twitter that were circulating.
Oh, that was him, baby?
Yeah, he's the one with the driver from practice and the flights. Yeah. Hey, let me say, hey, Jamie, let me say this about this kid. Let's go back to the baseline.
But what do I know?
No, JB, you're right about this kid. JB, his high school film is phenomenal. Like, I went back and watched it because of all the things that were allegedly in his Texas A&M NIL package. So for a kid that talented to go to Texas Tech where they throw the ball all over the field and not be productive, I mean, he had less than, 6-7 catches on the season?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be off-the-field character stuff, or either he was hurt, one of the two. So the reason that people are looking at this side eye is because of the list of alleged NIL offerings at A&M. Remember, he had in there, like, he gets to decide, like, if he's injured, when he comes back to play and all this kind of stuff. So I think the kid is doing himself a disservice by living his life in the media. Because when you put all this information out there, now people got the right to come to any conclusion they want. He could have a sick parent, a sick grandparent. It could be a birth of a baby. It could be something legit.
Yeah.
It's not even gonna matter. Yeah, but now having that background information, I'm definitely giving him a side eye now. I had no idea that this was the same guy, because now it makes me think like, is he not getting his demand? So that's the reason why he's really gone. Did he not get the money he wanted? Did he not get some? Is his family not getting the private jet or whatever? I can't remember what was on that list, but it was a crazy list of demands he had on there. So now that's what I'm leaning towards now with more information, that he's just being like, he's just crying over spilled milk and the fact that he didn't get exactly what he wanted. So now he's just sitting around, and he's probably getting bad advice from, quote unquote, the street agents, they be likes to say. I bet whoever he's working with in his camp, they know how good he was in high school, to Shaun's point. They know he's a 5-star guy, and they're telling him, hey, if you don't get this, that, and the third, just sit out, don't play, don't do the. And he's just listen to whatever they say because they've been around for so long and they gain his trust. And it's a shame because, he's gonna end up messing his career up. He's a 5-star receiver.
But that's the thing you and I and Matt just argued about, discussed. Like, this is the problem. You can speak till you're blue in the face, homie. If there's no hierarchy, it doesn't matter. I don't care about 7,200 kids in the portal, to Matt's point. I care about every kid. That's just who I am. That's why I coach. That's what we did. 7,200 kids, you can talk about it like you can dismiss it all you want. 7,200 fucking kids is it's a problem, homie. Like, that's a big chunk of kids. We ain't never seen that shit before. So, like, I'm just saying, like, there's gonna be a time where the blood life runs out. That is your blood life right now in Division I football. They plucked the portal, and now portal kids are what keeps up with the Joneses at these 4 years. Or Miami wouldn't have took Cam Ward and now Carson Beck if that wasn't the case, dog. They would be recruiting organically and developing. They're not. It's a mockery. This is what it is.
Hey, JB, let me illuminate something that's really getting the rug put over it. Miami has signed multiple 4- and 5-star quarterbacks out of high school during this process, but they can't evaluate the quarterback position.
Exactly.
None of them kids playing. They all leaving.
And that's my point. Like, okay, so we're recruiting high school kids for what? I'm going to replace them in the portal anyway with 7,200 kids is my whole point on this macro level talk that we were having. Like, if there wasn't 7,200 kids, Smitty, then guess what the portal would be? A lot less attracting for me to go into, and I'll start developing again the kids that were supposed to be developed. So maybe the NFL QB would be better and not 28 years old either. See, I know we want to talk about the shit. The age is getting older. The high school kids from 17 to 21 aren't playing no more because we have 5, 6, 7-year pavias who already played all their years, but yet now they still want to play more years.
Hey, how about this, JB? I think he's the strong safety or outside backer for Notre Dame. He's about to play in his 70th college game. Think about this. Say you went to Georgia and y'all played 15 games a year. 4 times 15 is 60.
60. Yep.
He's about to play in his 70th college game. Like, this thing is getting ridiculous. And he's a good player, too. Like, he's a strong safety, I think, for Notre Dame. These like 24, 20-something. Unbelievable. Like, how is that even possible?
Let me ask y'all this. You know, you guys coach. What do y'all, I guess, on the bad side, let's say 10 years from now, whatever, 5 years from now even, let's say this never changes. Where do y'all see this ending? Like, what happens? Like, on the negative side, JB, like, what are you thinking this can lead to? Is my question. Is it just a lack of players now because, like, you think people are just stop playing football and because they're not getting recruited, or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the negative point that this leads to?
What it is, man, it's a lot of side bitches. We're not talking about it. There's like so many side bitches involved. You got 7-on-7 coaches, you got personal trainers, and now you got street agents. Now you got NIL agents who aren't even certified, Shaun. They should be certified. If I was some sort of governing body, I'd be making sure these street agents are certified and able to do what's right for these kids. We got a bunch of homies that aren't even certified telling these kids what they do and don't do. They've had them since Pop Warner, so they knew the mama, and now they're idiots, let's be honest. And they're sitting out here talking about what these kids should do, bad advice to Smitty's point. And now the negative part of it is, dog, I'm just going back to hierarchy, Shaun. Like, there has to be a hierarchy in society in general. If 17 to 21-year-olds who have yet to earn anything, hence the wrecks that we continue to see with these Hellcats and Scat Packs and shit, they never driven a regular car or been taught to drive a regular car. They just got a license, so everyone thinks, oh, well, they're licensed to drive. No, every car is different, and every muscle car is specifically different. And in that same thing with school. Every school is different. Every coach is different. There's no hierarchy no more. Then I just think it's going to get, to your point, to answer your question, it's going to get so watered down, and the coaches in the industry that are good and legitimately want to build men will no longer be. Coach K, Nick Saban, the Halfleys, the Chip Kelly getting away from a D1 head coach to just go be a coordinator so he don't have to deal with shit. The Bill O'Briens, all these guys that are hard asses on the development of kids are lacking now because they just say, fuck it. We can't do it anyway. We can't tell them nothing. They're going to do whatever they want anyway. They make more money than all my assistants, Smitty. Right. So, like Sean King's my quarterback coach. Let's just say we're at a Power 5. Let's say he's making $500 for just a position coach. He's not even a coordinator. Coordinator making $9 or $1 million. He's making $500. And he tells Quinn Ewers to take a fucking 3-step drop and get deeper on your drop. You should be 5 yards deep on a 3-step, Quinn. Man, I ain't listening to your motherfucking ass. I make $4 million. Like, he's 18. Like, come on, dog. Like, come on, man. This is like, what are we doing? What are we setting ourselves up for?
It just depends on the type of kid you are, too. Like, I don't know. Like, again, I'm not around these kids, so I don't know. I just know who I was. I like being coach because I wanted to. I don't know. I love the game, so that's why it's hard for me to. I hear what you're saying. Makes sense. It's hard for me to be in that mindset because I wanted money. I had dreams of going to NFL. Of course, all that is true. But I actually loved football. So if you are a coach who understands how to develop people, I'm going to respect you and listen to you because that's how I've always was raised. So I gotta believe there's still kids like me. There's no way that there's no.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying every kid is the way I'm saying. I'm saying you are okay though today, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm great.
And you appreciated and respected the fact that you went through that, don't you?
100%. I need.
So if I gave you the leeway of getting $2 million and doing what you wanted to do today, you would be like, fuck. Did I really go through the rigor? Did I really deserve it? Did I earn it? Did I do? I got hurt, didn't even play no more. Like, I think that the mental, like I would never want another dad, and I would never have wanted to be coached another way than I was. Motherfucked, coached hard. It made me respect the game and understand, Shaun, that you understand this more than anyone. This game was a privilege, not a right. It's a right now to these motherfucking spoiled kids. And that's the majority.
So the only part of this I disagree with the public narrative is it's not the kids. It's the system. Right. The kids didn't create the system. They're just participating in it. And the system is set up that money is the ultimate objective, right? No matter how much I like being here. Jim Larinaga said it best. He took the Hurricanes to the Final Four. He says, exit meeting with all his players. They all were leaving. He was like, you don't like it here? He said, no, coach, we love it. But they're going to pay me a couple $100,000 more to go there. How can I turn that around? What's the other part of this? Because the players in college don't have a collectively bargained relationship with the colleges, NIL agents are getting 20%. Let me simplify that to let you know what it means. An NFL agent gets 3%. So the same $30,000 an NFL agent makes on a $1 million deal, an NIL agent makes on a $150,000 deal. So an NIL agent is getting the same on a $150,000 deal that the NFL agent's getting on $1 million deal.
Crazy.
So that's the best job in America right now, is being a damn NIL agent. Like if you can get 10, 11, 12 kids that average $150,000 a deal, and you making $30,000 for each one of them.
You straight. I think Shaun froze a little bit here. Take a screenshot of this real quick, baby, before he comes back, just so we can have it in our arsenal next time he talks shit to me or JB. But that's a good point. There you go. He's back. You hear it, Shaun?
So where's the incentive to be loyal, to stay committed?
Very nice.
Where is it?
That's my point, and that's why I disagree with Matt. I'm not saying it's fuck the 7,200 kid. I'm not gonna ever say that, because I look at it at a macro scale and I'm like, dude, 7,200 kids, that's a lot of kids to just shit on and say, all right, well, because I know the ramification of it. There's gonna eventually run out, and you're gonna have to go back to the organic high school recruiting, JUCO recruiting. But if there isn't high school recruits to recruit or JUCO kids to recruit, then what's going to happen? Because the portal cannot sustain itself.
So hold on, to that point, that's why I asked you that question of where do you see this thing going? So you see it going where guys will not, high school football players won't be playing, they'll stop playing, or the numbers will be so low to where it's just drained, or what do you mean by what you just said right there? You said it'll get to a point where the portal guys will run out. You'll have to go back to the old school way of recruiting. But if there's no high school player, JUCO players, they don't have nothing to recruit. What do you mean by that last line?
Wait, say it again in your way.
You're saying that eventually the portal players will die out. Of course, they'll graduate at some point. It'll die out.
Even if let's just say it's 7,500 kids still in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's still, though, it won't be 7,500 quality guys. It's going to be a bunch of kids that are afraid of the smoke, who don't want to smoke, who don't want to get yelled at, and they're not very good.
Gotcha.
That's not the same even as this 7,200 that's in there right now, because a lot of these kids are probably players. They can probably play, but they're leaving for whatever reason. It's only getting worse, in my opinion, not better. It's not getting better. So it's gonna be interesting, man.
I think ultimately, Smitty, the federal government's gonna either have to institute a salary cap, or there's gonna be some extreme overreaction to the current situation.
Well, Title IX got involved this morning.
Yeah, the thing that they need to be very careful about is it's becoming, how do I say this? A dangerous environment to play college football, because you still got the incoming 17-year-old is turning 18, but because of COVID and all these rule adjustments you're making, they're playing against grown men now. It's a whole lot of 23 to 25-year-olds playing college football. At some point, that becomes dangerous. A 25-year-old way more physically developed than an 18-year-old.
And people don't understand. There's a reason why the NFL was the only sport you needed to be 3 years removed from high school to play in the NFL. The only sport. We're forgetting that now. This is what they're doing in college. There's 26-year-olds playing 18-year-olds. And that's why they're setting a precedent now to protect this kid like a freak in Mr. Smith over there in Ohio State, the wideout, who just got a protective clause and protection, even if he don't go to the NFL. He's about to be paid for life. Yeah. So, now guess what? Title IX just got involved. So guess what? Every girl playing sports in college, rightfully so too, if they're going to be under Title IX protection, they're going to want protective monies. And so is everybody else. And even a bunch of scrubs that shouldn't even get $1 to play college
I don't think
football.
they all will though, because like this insurance thing has been a while. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, Buddy from Notre Dame, who kind of caused all the players. What's his name? The linebacker had that nerve injury. I know he had like an insurance clause going on too. So this isn't like some new thing. It's just that it's rare. It's very rare.
No. It is the way that Smith got it is new. It's an NIL sort of protection of insurance. The Notre Dame kid his parents took out his own insurance policy at fucking Allstate or wherever, like you and I would do. Okay. They're not getting, he's not getting paid for life. This is a different whole other deal.
So I think Deion and Colorado were the first to do it. I think they did it for their guys to play in the bowl game against BYU. But they got
team coverage. They got coverage over the whole team to play in the bowl game. Yeah.
Right. The way it's changed is the way it's changed is, remember also what the NIL did is now a college athlete can have an agent. Yeah. Remember, pro athletes go through their agent generally to get their Lloyd's of London plan or whatever. Right, for insurance. And college athletes could not sign it.
Amateurism law. You sign an agent with our era, you sign an agent in our era, you're done.
Right, you couldn't play anymore. Now these guys got a bunch of agents. Like I got like 3-4 of them.
Hey, by the way, Fred wanted me to let you know, you talking about his connection.
Who?
What's wrong with my connection?
Shaun, so in the middle of your rant, you probably didn't even know. In the middle of your last take, it froze up like this. You see the screen? It froze up for like 10 seconds. And I told Bay to take a screenshot just so we have it. And apparently Fred watching.
Motherfucker took you 3 minutes to realize that wasn't us.
Shaun didn't know because it came right back and you was still going. So I think you thought it never froze, but this is what happened for like 10 seconds.
Fred watching Shaun like a motherfucking hawk right now. He like, nah.
Listen. All I know is on Whitlock's show, I ain't never seen it freeze up. You know, on Colin Coward's show, it don't never freeze up. You know, I'm just saying. Goddamn, is it baby?
On McAfee, on McAfee, it don't freeze up on McAfee.
Yeah. McAfee freeze up more than anybody. Stop.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Mac shit be frozen. So I wasn't gonna use him. What's the dude that started the podcast to make up Jim Rome? So don't freeze up. Just saying, man. If you want to be governor, if you want to be governor of California one day, you got to be able to put on a couple-hour podcast and not freeze up. Come on, dog.
The irony of this, though, Shaun, is that like we started this last segment with you and Fred talking about no black-on-black crime. We got to stop doing all this, and then immediately y'all started attacking each other. Immediately, like, that's crazy.
Shaun started it, though.
How?
He's like a kid. You started it. Look at that.
Because I said nobody's planning their weekday over the FCS championship game.
Don't let the white man get us all in a fight. They've been doing it for years, Shaun. He's trying to trick us right now. You letting Jason trick us. Don't let us do that. You and Fred.
I've been the one with the bad connection the whole week. I've had no power for 3 days. I've had all kinds of shit. So it is what it is. I don't know. Shaun, what's your take on the timeline thing, though, real quick?
Somebody in the chat said it's payback for the yacht episode.
Hey, earlier they said Smitty's still scared of the yacht today. Today, though, from last week.
I'm still nervous right now.
That shit it seemed like yesterday, Smitty. That shit was a week ago already.
The last 2 weeks was like long weeks for me. So.
What you about to say, JB?
Where are you at with this Title IX thing? Because the Title IX and now the Department of Education is getting involved because everybody's going to want a piece of the pie. This is another thing that I said months ago on this show. I said, wait till Title IX gets involved when they cleared that Pavia JUCO prep thing. I said, I ain't heard nothing from Title IX. Title IX's got to get involved. And all of a sudden, boom, look at this. This right here could change a lot of things because it's going to be interesting if they decide, well, guess what? Pavia, you can't get $2 million no more. Because guess what? That money has to be dispersed evenly. That is the Title IX law. If Shaun King gets $1, then so does Lucy in the chat. And so does Gok. And so does, they all need to get the same dollar that you, Smitty, and I get. That's just Title IX. So now they finally realized it when ADs came out. And I'm going to read you something specific real quick so you can wrap your heart around this shit. ADs and collectives have already come out and said that football players will receive 75% of the revenue that is brought in. That's illegal per Title IX and Department of Education. So now they get their hands on it. And I still don't understand how the NCAA, the non-carrying nationals of America, continue to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner, now allowing Title IX and Department of Ed involved when we know damn well these kids are going to 4 schools in 4 years. It ain't about education, Shaun. So, like, this is just a continued slap in the face of what's going on macro scale. And I don't know how you're going to fix this. Because if this happens, Smitty, I'm just telling you, Juju at SC, she going to get 10 mil then. And so, just like the quarterback.
But like somebody like Juju or like a Caitlin Clark, for example, I don't mind them getting like, I mean.
But I'm saying, I know, I hear you. But what I'm saying is, the nobodies are going to get the same money now. And you don't have, there's not enough money. There's not enough money.
Think about it real quick. Even, what's your boy name that Miami just got? Quarterback real quick from Georgia, Carson Beck. Carson Beck. He'll be getting what? Was it 10 million? Is the rumor? He probably
about
whatever.
4 million.
A million or whatever. $1 million. That's one player getting that.
Yes.
That's one player. We ain't talking about all the other NIL money from everybody else. So think about how are they going to balance that out amongst the tennis team and the track and field and the volleyball.
Let me say,
lead those two real quick. Go ahead,
Shaun.
I think this impacts the collective at the school more so than the NIL, like the outside NIL money. I think this is more about the collective, like where there's an attachment to the athletic program that's actively fundraising to raise money to give student athletes. I think they're saying that goddamn.
Hey, Bailey, turn off. I don't want what the hell we got going on?
He's dying back there.
He sound like he's getting money. Like, oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
So I think this is going to impact the collective, because that's directly attached to the athletic department, and they're raising money to give out to student athletes for NILs. So I think that's what they're going to say. That's got to have Title IX guidelines on it, meaning the female athletes have to have access to that and an equal share of that collective. I don't think this has nothing to do with Smitty wanting to pay JB $2 million to go to Ball State and be the quarterback at Ball State, because you're not a part of the collective. So you got to think, NIL is a big umbrella. Collective is something that the school regulates, that they have people in place that control a bag that then they give to the football program, the basketball program, to retain current players and attain players from other places. But there can also be an outside entity, like the guy from Oracle, whose wife is a Michigan grad, who stepped up and gave Bryce Underwood that big check. Like, that's not a part of the collective. That's an individual attached to the program doing something on their own.
Right. So, okay. And I thought I brought that up at the very opening. I asked JB a question. I said, like, because I feel like, to your point, Shaun, there's a way to get around this, is basically what you're saying. To where if it's coming from the outside money, technically speaking, that has nothing to do with the university. Like that's separate from the university. That's separate from these bylaws here. JB, I don't know if you heard. I know you just took a little quick break or whatever. Or you had to go. I don't know what you was doing.
So let me give an example.
You heard everything.
So at University of Texas, they were the first ones that the collective came out and said every scholarship offensive lineman gets $50,000 a year. Right. Remember when Texas came out and said that?
Yeah.
If this Title IX rule goes into place, now what would happen was that collective pool of money now would have to be evenly dispersed and available to the female athletes as well as the male counterparts.
Got you. That's what you're saying. Okay. That makes perfect sense. So let's say, let's say the collective had $200,000 just in it total. Boom. Basically, 100,000 could go to football, and 100,000 could go to spread out amongst the women's sports.
Right.
Using that example. Got you.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense.
But at the same time, DK Royal, I think the stadium in it, DK Royal Stadium in Texas ain't the name of it. If the Royal family, who's not a part of the collective, decides on their own that they want to give Arch Manning $4 million a year to be the quarterback there, that's a separate sideline deal that Title IX can't get
And
involved.
JB, that's what I brought up to you during the first your opening rant. I'm like, getting money like that from an outside collective has nothing to do with the Title IX stuff, right? Jason?
It does now because each school has $20.5 million to distribute. And if the school's doing it, that's Title IX. Fully affected. That's Title IX and Department of Education involvement. Because every school.
Collective. That's the collective JB's talking about.
So, but from what I'm reading is it's saying that each school will now have $20.5 million in direct payment to its athletes via name, image, and likeness deals as one of the terms of a pending antitrust settlement that just happened. So many of the schools from these Power 5 conferences have developed plans to distribute the majority of that money to athletes in sports that generate only the most revenue. 75% is football and men's basketball. So in some cases, ADs now have publicly said that they intend to provide upwards near 75% of that money towards football players because they bring in the most money. Bowl games, playoffs, all that shit, the most players. Just pure numbers, they have 200 players, let's just be honest, with red shirts, walk-ons, etc. Let's just say 125. Let's just cut it at 125. Yeah. You're triple the next sport.
Yeah.
Or you're quadruple the next sport.
Yeah.
So like they're just number wise, that's what it is. You're gonna pay those guys more. Well, now the Title IX saying nah, because it's a dollar for dollar match. That is what Title IX is. I have to match the dollar for men and women.
So now they're going to cancel a whole bunch of women's sports then, probably.
No. See. Let me explain what Title IX is without the money involved. Yeah. Because I only learned this when I coached. Title IX was put into place because it says the same percentage of female undergrad students to male students that you have, your athletic department has to mimic that percentage, which is why you saw the creation of women's lacrosse, women's tennis teams, women's golf teams, all the Olympic sports. Most of them at most colleges only have a women's side because the men's team would make the numbers, the percentage out of whack. So that's what the historic Title IX is.
Yeah, but it's per sport. So, like, that's why you see programs take cheer, for instance, and make it a club. Right. And then cut men's baseball and women's softball. And they try to balance the numbers because football has so many players more than everyone else. So that's why some programs, if you go to like North Carolina, I believe there's like, I don't know, Bailey, you can look it up, but I bet you there's 26 probably sports. Right. You go to Vanderbilt, there's probably 14. Because you got club sports taken away, you got badminton thrown in there, you got now you putting pickleball and shit. They're trying to put shit in there so they can match the dollar for dollar on the Title IX deal. So like, it's gonna be very interesting. Monica Evers in the chat. Shout out to Monica. She has a son that's in Division I. She's very abreast to all this. She deals with a lot of this. So what she's saying in the chat there on X, collective NIL deals are renewed annually because of all the dynamics, including legislation. If this sticks, the collective will be disbanded. So,
which is what I was talking about, right, Smitty? Yep. Because the NIL can be funded without the collective.
Right.
Schools put the collective in place to try and have some control
management
over the flow of money, right?
Yep. But if me and Shaun, Shaun, JB right now was like, fuck it, we want to fund.
We got JB University over here. We want to go get Fred, to be running back. Right. We can go outside and get whatever we need. Yeah, so there's ways around it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Juju and Paige Buckers, is that her name? And them girls breaking their money, they getting paid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my boy's daughter is one of the highest paid. She was a UCLA soccer player and a UCLA softball player. She was one of the first NIL deals to get a Adidas deal, and she's one of the first. She was the first. She was the first female to get $1 million.
Yeah, that LSU gymnast is making a killing too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's just pockets. There's pockets of it all. It's just pockets of it all. And it's like, what I mean? Now that Title IX is getting involved because they want a piece of the pie. Now they want everything to be. All the girls are going to make the same. All the boys are going to make the same. They're going to try to do it. there's no way it happens. There's just no way. It can't happen. There's no way. Something's right.
That's why. You know what's crazy? I think the women's side got it right. Every woman,
actually do
every
NIL
woman
deals.
that we just said got an NIL deal has earned it.
Yes,
they already
100%.
on national commercials. They box office talent. They balled at the college or Olympic. Like, they earned it. My only problem on the men's side is y'all are rewarding guys before they produce.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Shaun, let's end the show with the poll question. Yeah, let's end the show with the poll question real quick. And I know we talked about the game already, and you mentioned the weather, but the poll question is real simple. Are the Eagles in trouble? And that's the question. You got to just give us the possibility. I would say you would think they are in trouble, right? At some point.
Man, you know how I feel about Jalen Hurts.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. And I told Smitty, and you're better. Would you agree? Like, the first half's going to tell you the outcome, in my opinion, because every time Jalen Hurts throws for big yardage, they lose. And every time Saquon has a great night, they win. And when it comes down to Jalen Hurts' feet being more productive than his arm, the Eagles win. I mean, it's just fact. I don't know, but Sean McVay has never allowed a 100-yard rusher in his playoff history as a head coach. So they already got gashed by him, 8 weeks ago.
If this was inside or played in a city where I knew the weather was going to be good, I really like the Rams. I just think Philly is much more capable of playing winning football if it's raining and freezing than the Rams are. I don't know if the Rams game translates to a snow game where it's snow everywhere on the field or where it's raining and cold. I didn't, because they rely so much on, if you even look at their success against the Vikings, a lot of that was downfield throws. Guys are making over-the-shoulder catches. That becomes a little more inconsistent, when the weather gets, kind of rowdy.
I think that Sean McVay's misdirection style of boot naked, sprint out, play pass, under center, run game married with the pass game, it travels to any weather, though. I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to throw for 400 yards, but I also think they can get out on the edge and throw to Higbee in the flat and move the sticks, too, which is just as effective with all the outside zone and power and pin and pull they run with play action attached. I think it is going to give this good-ass defense in Philly something to slow that D-line down. Because I think you have to slow the D-line down. You don't have to gash them, in my opinion, every play and big plays, and it's 5 inches of snow. But if you keep that D-line at bay and not being able to get back to Stafford and keep Kyren Williams involved, I think you have a much better success rate, especially if Jalen Hurts is throwing it a lot because you're loading that box and stopping Saquon. And now you're forcing A.J. Brown to put the book down and actually get involved in the run game as a point-of-attack blocker, which he doesn't want to do, but it's going to be in the snow. And I don't know how fucking excited I am about that for Jalen Hurts getting him the football, because we already know shitbirds are going to be out there mad as hell if they're not getting that ball again 2 weeks in a row in the playoffs.
Hey, he got his book. He got his book, man. He's good.
Can you read that book in the snow, though?
If it's pouring out snow, it might be tough. It might be tough.
Hey,
man. The Eagles got number one defense.
How about this? Jalen Hurts, I have not seen it since this game. Can you please turn back into the quarterback that played in the Super Bowl versus Mahomes and the Chiefs? That's the best version of Jalen Hurts I've ever seen, and I've only seen it one time.
That's my point, though.
Every time he does good throw in the ball game, but that was by far.
No, I'm talking about start to finish, like in the pocket, throwing the ball, getting through his progressions, being accurate, throwing the ball short, medium, long.
That's my point, Shaun. Every time he does that, they lose, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I only seen it once. So the one time I saw it, the Chiefs beat them. That ain't no disrespect.
He's done it more than once, though. I don't think that's fully fair.
I've only seen it once.
From a coaching standpoint and the inside to all the chat, like how big is the Dean loss?
Has he been ruled out?
Oh yeah, he's done for the. He might
be done all year, 2025.
So here's something to watch. Here's what losing Dean does. Philly don't tackle well on the second and third level.
I know.
Like, they run to the football, so they get a lot of people there. But something to watch. Once you get past that D line, very few of the initial defender that Philly gets the ball brings the ball carrier down. They have to game tackle. Like, they're not big on the second and third level. They're athletic with DeJean and those guys, but they can't tackle. That's something to watch.
Yeah, we'll see. They are, if I'm not mistaken, they are like the number one defense, I think, though, right now in the playoffs. So, like, the thing about, on the flip side, as much as we love Matthew Stafford and think he's probably the best ball spinner left in the NFL, he will throw you a couple too, though, if you get after him. Matthew Stafford can be careless with the ball at times as well. So I don't know. That game is just an interesting game. I can see it going so many ways. You don't know what Eagles team you're going to get. You don't know fully what Matthew Stafford you're going to get. So I don't know. It's going to be a good game, man. I'm picking around. I'm going to stick to it, but I am nervous about it.
Hey, real quick, Shaun, you're not worried at all about the Chiefs, huh?
Oh, the Chiefs and the Lions, they're going to win and cover. Houston got no shot. Washington, no shot.
Wow. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I'm still rocking with the Texans because I picked them I picked the Chiefs to lose in the second round or their first game.
They got no shot, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
The Washington,
they beat the Chargers because Justin Herbert self-destructed again. And think about this. Tampa lost because Baker snaps the ball late on a jet sweep and fumbles. And then on 3rd and 1, the center on a hard count snaps the ball. As bad as Tampa played, they still win that game most likely if those two things don't happen.
Hey, that's football, though. You know that, Shaun. One play here, one play there.
So my point being, I don't look at Washington like they went into Tampa and showed me this dominant performance and win. I look at it like it was more Tampa self-destructing. Now they're going to a rested Lions team that's been rolling. I mean, the Lions been rolling. Second half of the Niners game, Vikings game, like they're playing their best football. They get David Montgomery back.
Yeah.
I just think that's going to overwhelm Washington on the road.
You're going to find out.
Hey, remember, we'll end the show on this. And it's a good point. Remember, the collective at the universities do not claim each other. Remember, that's fact.
Yeah.
Remember the kid sued the Florida State head basketball coach separately, and it has nothing to do with the collective. So that was
my earlier point when I asked you that. I'm like it's separate entities. So that's why I think they can get away with still paying these players and not counting towards the overall money that needs to go to both sides. So we'll see how it plays out, though, man.
Interesting. Hey, Shaun, we'll see you Monday. You said the Ohio State-Texas game was the natty, so you're expecting Ohio State to roll Notre Dame?
Yeah, Riley Leonard's not a quarterback. Notre Dame got no shot.
Well, we'll break that game down in totality on Monday morning before the game. So shout out to you. We'll see you. Good luck. Enjoy the weekend. Peace.
Peace. All right, JB, appreciate you, my guy. Baby, appreciate you and appreciate the chat. I got a meeting I got to go to in 1 minute. So any closing thoughts or words that get us ready for the weekend, Jason?
No. Everybody said I was pissing. I didn't piss at all yet.
Nah, it was a misunderstanding. I think you had asked Bailey to take you off, and either he didn't hear you or maybe he was doing something else or whatever. Something happened to where we didn't take you off. So we heard you in the bathroom for a hot second.
No, that's why I had to go. The fucking my goddamn, I had that drip thing under my in my bar that collects water. Yep. The fucker was spilling everywhere. I had to flush it down my toilet. Fucking all that shit. But anyway,
it's not like you was beating off, homie. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, gawk.
But hey, y'all, man, y'all enjoy yourself, man. It's my birthday weekend, man.
Happy birthday, homie. Happy birthday. We got 1 minute. Super chat Smitty for his birthday right now. Go. Everybody go. Everybody in the chat, drop $20 for Smitty right now. Go. You got 1 minute. How old are you? 20?
31, man. Reggie Miller year, homie. Big 31. Big dog. Baby, you got a long time if you get to my age, homie, man. A lot to learn, baby. A lot to learn. You 18, 19. It's crazy. JB, you old as hell, but I'm old.
You're not old. You young as hell.
Appreciate y'all chat, man. Who's this? Christian Rafter. We got Ralph Big. Oh, my Bundy.
God damn.
I get my Bundy on the boat. We gotta get him on the yacht, homie. I'll fuck with my Bundy.
Is he out here in Cali?
I don't know. My buddy's even keeled. Like he cool with you. He don't side with nobody. Lucy Lou. I love Lucy. Everybody love Lucy. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Mike Bundy in Cali?
My cousin. Wizzy, my cousin. Let me text her. I'm gonna hop on. Yeah.
Is Mike in Cali? And
I don't
Cino?
know. If he is, we gotta get him. We gotta get him to pull up, man.
We got it. Mike might be the first Super Bowl invite.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen, man. Mike Bunny, he's a real one for sure. He's a real.
I mean, you get $9.99 out of that, homie.
Man, I take it, homie. I'm from the hood. I will take it. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. If y'all want to send me more money, hit me up in the Discord. We'll go from there. But I'm gonna hot y'all going to this meeting, y'all. Peace.
Peace.